Guys, you don't understand. We got to talk about Star Wars.
There have been several times where I've been at work and I've been like, I cannot wait 1 minute later. I have to go at this time. And they're like, okay, why? And I'm like, I just have plans and it's for the podcast.
I have done that so many times where I'm like, I have to go home. I have to go right now. And they're like, I'm going
Right now.
I just tell them the truth. I'm like, yeah, I'm going grocery shopping with my mom.
And then they're all like,
virgin. That's what my dad. You'll be a little weakling. You'll be a little sapling in the grand scheme of things. You're nothing but a little ant. You're nothing but a little thespian.
Bro's off his meds.
Bro, I think we're gonna get another absolutely cracked Braden podcast this week.
We might. You know
I record the entire episode like this.
Yeah, you can pretend.
I
like
think they should have given
Assassin's
him
Creed
more pudge in the front. I think they each have had garishly large bulges. Like it almost ruins the game.
Hey, fam
They
squad.
should just give Venom a cock.
I agree.
They've all been wanting that.
It should be pink like his tongue.
Yeah, but it has to have like physics, so it just like ragdoll physics, but it's his wiener. So when he's jumping around, it's like it's like flying.
You guys shut up, Jesus.
But why? You like it? You're smiling.
I don't.
I did have a scary creepypasta moment in the car, where
Can't call it.
I looked over to the guy next to me at the stoplight, and this dude was like, you know, Maximum Peter Parker's like weird face with his weird big chin, you know, like he's just got like this weird, you know, like that. His profile was similar to that, right? But he was smiling, really. I don't know how else to describe it, but hard. Like he was like flexing all of his muscles like really aggressively. Like it was really weird. He was almost practicing to smile, but it was really weird, right? And so I was like, I don't know what's happening over here. And then I look away, and then in the corner, so what happens is I stare at him for way too long, and then he moves his head to look at me, and I'm like, this, right? And then I sit there for 2 minutes, or like for like 10 seconds, and then I like just out of the corner of my eye look, and he's just staring at me, and I'm like, oh god.
Well, he was just doing what you were doing, to be fair.
Right? No, I'm weirdo, but it totally looked like he was being a freak. I don't know what he was doing. It was really
maybe he was really happy because he was gonna get to go home and see his beautiful wife.
It looked like he was in pain. Yeah. He was like.
He was listening to the All Things Geek podcast.
Yeah, he's like, this is really funny. I'm smiling. It's really making me happy, but it's not funny enough to make me laugh out loud.
He's like, what happened to the episode 70 of the podcast? Why is Braden talking about nonsense this week?
He's going to be really this week. He's going to have a crazy moment.
Oh, yeah.
He was staring at me because he recognized me from the podcast. There you go.
Yeah.
Guy.
What are you eating?
Exactly.
Potatoes and salami.
Simple but effective.
Pancakes.
I don't have food. You guys, this was the All Things Eat podcast. Damn. Hold on.
Why was you so late?
We waited for you. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know you're right.
We're recording a usual hour after we usually record.
Holy fuck, my guy! An hour and 25 minutes. Oh my god, we're gonna die.
I'm fine. I have no life, so we're good.
Braden's got his goon time. He's got to clock in at the end of the day. He's got to make room for it.
Yeah, he's gonna boot up Marvel Rivals and then just zoom in on Sue's ass and just jerk it.
He goes, enhance,
zoom and enhance.
Braden's depressed.
I don't do that.
He cries every day.
I use my phone like a normal human being.
Well, you're not just out in the basement gooning and doing what you do?
No, because my window's open. If Granddad walks by, he's going to have a heart attack.
He goes to your dad and he goes, I saw Braden gooning.
Gooning?
My granddad is literally Sensei Wu. That's how he speaks. And he talks like that. The goon is strong with this one.
Masters will train you in goonjitsu.
I was just about to say that. God damn it. Goonjitsu.
I had to steal your thunder.
You did. You always do. You always do.
I know.
Yeah.
It's my most desirable trait. Stealing Braden's thunder.
That's your absolutely massive cock. That's true.
That's true. Second most.
Welcome to the All Things Squeak podcast, where we talk about all Alvin and the Chipmunk news. There's no
Alvin and the Chipmunks 4 came out.
Today we're reviewing Alvin and Chipmunks Road Trip.
I'm more of a Chipmunks Gen 3 fan than a Gen 2 fan, to be honest.
Nobody fucking cares about your
opinion. So overrated. G2 was like the peak of the franchise. You know,
The
The first
Alvin
Alvin
and
and
Chipmunks that
Chipmunks
matters is the
movie.
Alvin and Chipmunk Christmas Carol movie.
They're just mad because they made it woke. They made Alvin Chipmunks woke, Braden. That's why
I
you're
can't
Alvin and the
believe they
Chipmunks-
made Girl
no.
Chipmunks. This is bullshit.
Alvin and the Chipmunks, the live action film, was the Michael Bay resurgence of the franchise.
Oh my god.
It kind of was, technically.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, and then it died very quickly.
Yeah. Well, they made 4 movies.
It's
Ty.
like 4 movies. It's fine.
Yeah.
With 3 grown men talking about Alvin and the Chipmunks news.
I fucking cared about those movies. Okay, I was
No,
I was
shut up.
invested. I loved those movies as a kid.
I loved the chipmunk, the girl chipmunk with glasses. He was obsessed with her.
He thought all 3
I
of those
wasn't.
girls were so hot.
I did. He's in mourning.
I'm in pain. I'm in physical pain. Oh, fuck me. Alright, welcome to the Aussie Geek Podcast. My name is Tyler, also known as Bionic Side, joined by the man whose name starts with a B.
Braden or Renzolian.
The man whose name starts with a T.
Thatch man.
Sorry. This is the real episode 70. Just kidding. It was a late April Fool's prank. There's a freak incident with OBS. And
Are you recording your shit? Are you recording your shit?
Yeah, I
Are you
am.
recording
Fuck
your
off. Fuck you.
I'm also
shit?
recording. So if anything
Right.
happens, one of us has it.
this chucklehead should have been recording backups from the beginning.
Oh, you're gonna blame me? Oh, you're gonna blame me?
I am actually. I am.
You're gonna blame me?
Because you were originally recording backups, and then you stopped. And then we had the episode where I was muted the entire time. And then you started again. And then you stopped again. And then we had another issue. So it's your fault. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Guess whose
Braden.
last episode it is? This guy. Having creative differences, we're splitting ways.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna make
We're
the
having
All Things
creative-
Freak podcast.
There we go. Now I won't be judged for my actions.
Yeah, because it's just gonna be you talking to a camera.
Every podcast, you come up here with some goon logic, and we all point a gun at you as you try and dig yourself out of a hole that's just getting deeper.
Well, not on my podcast. I'm gonna surround myself with like-minded goons, and we're gonna just have a good time. Or a
Goons,
goon
just
time.
the dredges of society. Absolute neckbeards. Oh god, Mando's attacking me.
There's this
trying
guy
to
on
be
Instagram. There's
Yeah.
this weird
That's a
bald guy
great-
on Instagram.
It's a great piece of art. It's a great
I
piece
love
of
it.
art.
It's great. It's
think-
one of
I think-
one of 3 big Mando pieces that I have.
It's a Drew Struzan poster. If I ever
Yeah.
did see one.
Another one right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what sucks now is that you can't buy damn posters anymore without knowing if they're AI generated. It's the worst thing.
Yep.
I will go at work and I will look at the posters and I could tell you which ones are AI. There's this really stupid one of Spider-Man with like ninja pants, like sweatpants, but they're like ninja pants on, and he's like jumping. It's an normal part, but he's got I hate it so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
I can't believe they're allowed to sell that stuff.
I
It's
have.
so
They are.
weird.
They license it. I mean, because technically, it's like Marvel owns Spider-Man, so if they're like generating these images based on fan art, which they probably are, Marvel can go, well, we own the rights, so the fan art was technically always ours because it's our intellectual property to begin with, so we can use it and they do bullshit like that. So.
Yeah.
We're gonna sue the pants off of your pants, Spider-Man, if you don't pay us.
I was in a mall. I remember this was like right when like the AI photo thing was becoming like a big thing. I remember I walked past and there was this Mario like 3D, like kind of looked like 64, and he had like 7 fingers and his face was all warped. They were just selling it, and I was like, who would
Yeah.
ever buy that?
I mean, I
assume
showed you guys
grandparents.
I showed you guys the like AI Link water bottle that my dad
Yeah.
has.
Yep.
It's so weird that that's like it's so commonplace now. You'll go to like any
Yeah.
store and it's
It's fucked
like
up,
boom.
man.
And you can immediately tell when something is AI. Like it's just AI photos have like, especially when it's like a 3D model, you can tell when they
Mhm.
just look weird.
Yeah,
Like their
'cause
face will
when
be
you-
slightly off.
Even that they get better, it's like you can tell it's AI because it'll be the most generic looking fucking thing in the entire collection. That's how you know.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I've got these have all. It's been like a Christmas tradition for the last 4 years. So I've got 3 Mando pieces, and then I've got a big Boba Fett one that's sort of like almost like that holographic sort of material, so it changes a little bit when you look at it. It's cool.
Sweet.
But do we get any stuff in this week, you guys?
Dude, I got stuff. I got 3 things.
Wow.
Damn.
I got stuff, but it's not worth showing. I just got some little stuff.
You go. You can go first, Thatch.
How many stuff did you get, Bray?
3.
Okay, cool.
But one of them.
So started the week with my boy Rom, which was awesome. Rom, I saw him at GameStop just chilling there, and I was like, whoa, you know. So I would not, because I've just been really lucky lately overall, man. Like, I've been super fortunate with my finds. So I got Rom, and I actually talked to the GameStop guy. This dude rocks. He's my favorite GameStop employee ever made. He's like super like nerdy looking guy, but he's so nice, and he's always very sweet. And he's the guy that got me the Halo 3 Master Chief because I asked him if he could look in the back, and he actually did, and he found it for me. And I was like, dude, you're the best guy ever. So he saw the ROM, and he was like, oh, this is so cool. I put this on the shelf, and I was like, that's awesome, but who the hell's gonna buy that? Who knows who Rom is? And I was like, me, I know who Rom is. So this Rom figure is like a 10 out of 10, dude. Serious. He has. I did not expect this. He has the Maximum Spider-Man like neck hinge and at the bottom like thing, you know, where it's like a joint down here and a joint up here, you know, which is insane. And he's got the diaphragm twist, which I was really nervous wouldn't work because of the boxiness, but it works really well. And then he can crunch. He's just so good. He's a great figure. I really don't. He's huge. He's 7 inches tall. He's like massive. He's Master Chief sized. Actually, I put them next to each other, so to give you a sense, which is cool because they're similar characters. Rom is like a cyborg, super like space military guy. Same thing that Master Chief is. So it's kind of cool that they did that. And he comes with a bunch of accessories. He just rocks. So Rom is awesome. And then I also got the 1989 Batman from McFarlane with the additional accessories. And I'm so glad I also have Brayden's that he gave me because the cape on this guy is awful. it's like this really shitty plasticky material. Doesn't lay right at all. He has little pockets so that you can make him do this thing, and it only looks good from a distance because he's got big ass batons he has to hold in his hand. And it's like cool silhouette, like it looks cool, but then if you get close to it, you're like, why has he got batons in his hands? But great accessories. Genuinely great accessories.
He's got like kite handlebars.
Yes, he does. And he's got little, but the funny thing about the cape is because it has the pockets in it for that, you can actually store most of his accessories in them, which is kind of fun.
Little pockets.
But that makes me imagine Batman being like,
he open his cape and he's got a gun.
He pulls it out and shoots.
I would totally do that. He's just, 1 second, I need to grab my gun.
But aside from that,
let me get my wallet. Blam!
He's the same exact figure, except he's got yellow here. But I am happy to have Brayden's because he has a good cape.
Nice.
So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to the Batman Returns one because the sculpt in that one already looks like the best one by far. So anyway, I've 3 Michael Keaton Batmans now. It's ridiculous.
What's the color on the first one? Is it gold?
It's gold. It's gold.
Oh, okay. I forgot.
Yes, it is.
All right.
And the last one's a big one. This is like a big deal. A big deal for me and a big deal for a lot of people.
I heard it. Yeah.
It is the Maximum Spider-Man figure. This is obviously like a hotly anticipated figure, and it's very personally like as someone who's collected Spider-Man action figures for like basically my whole life, I guess. I don't know. Like 20 years, I guess, would be a good date. This is a huge deal. So I already recorded a review for it. I haven't edited it yet, but it'll probably be very long. Had a lot of thoughts on them. I'm not going to share all of them here. My general reaction is that this is overpriced, but this is the best Spider-Man body they've ever done, and I really want them to do more with it because I think proportionally it looks really good. They've always had this thing with Spider-Man where he's either really skinny or just like really fucking chunky, and this is the most actually Spider-Man proportioned Spider-Man that they've done. And it's mostly original sculpting. I think like the only thing that reused is like a couple of the hands. Yeah, very very interesting, very cool figure, but super fun to mess around with. But I've got a lot of thoughts, and some of he's a very interesting case. But it was a big deal for me. It's actually super nostalgic because so many of his points of articulation remind me of the older Spider-Man figures from Toy Biz, just executed better. And even the style, because Toy Biz made a lot of McFarlane style Spider-Man. It was a super nostalgic experience, like messing with this guy. So. Very interesting figure. Obviously overpriced and all that, but really, really interesting. Very gratifying to get. I've been having a lot of fun messing with him. So, yeah, I know Aiden also got him this week, and I think he has very similar thoughts to me overall. I will say the art style. The biggest drawback with me and Aiden was that specifically the McFarlane design is not our favorite. We are we are John Romita senior apologists through and through. So this is not necessarily our Spider-Man, but since we grew up in the 2000s, a lot of the Spider-Man merch and art that we had was sort of carryover from the 90s. So there's a lot of nostalgia for that era. You know what I mean? Because of that. So I kind of find that's what happens with anything. Like you kind of have nostalgia for the stuff that's like 5 years before when you were born, you know, because it like delineates down to you. So anyway, sorry, I know that's a lot, but this is a very interesting kind of penultimate experience. So, but I'm not gonna stop buying Spider-Man or anything. Like I'm for the rest of the time. It's just I'm always gonna do it. There's a photo I have of him next to like I don't know, like 12 Spider. There's like a million Spider-Man I put him next to. So yeah, that's all I'll say about that. Though I don't want to go on too long.
It just makes sense. Maximum Spider-Man is Todd's Spider-Man because that's the only one that will always rise above it all.
There you go. There you go.
Go ahead, Bray. What you got?
He's licking his lips.
No.
Bro's
right.
silent.
Bro is silent
Speechless.
but deadly.
Bro's
All right.
speechless.
So I'm trying to think of the order I want to go in here. I think I know what I'm going to start with. Okay, so everything I got is One Piece related because I've been on a little bit of a One Piece kick lately because I missed talking about this franchise. Very first thing I got was from the mall. I saw this and I was very happy to find this because this is a figure that I've always wanted. It is the General Frankie model kit here.
He's pissing.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Have you not seen this?
No. What am I looking at? He looks like one of Eggman's goons.
Bro just ignored all the photos I sent.
Yeah.
You send him at fucking 4 a.m., bro, every single time.
And you move right past it.
Well, because I wake up at fucking 6 a.m. and I gotta get to work. I can't sit here and like look at all the 300 photos you sent, you know, in the middle of the night.
Welcome to my life. I have to react to every meme Ty sent me at like 3 in the morning. Watch all of them. Anyways.
I mean, you don't have to. You would just be a
bad
friend
if you
didn't.
I do. I do, though. You're welcome. Anyways. I know I don't always say it, but whatever. This is General Frankie. It's a model kit. It's pretty cool. So this was like $65, which is probably a little much for a model kit, but it is...
No, it's pretty cheap for a model kit.
Model kits are like, yeah, you get some cheap. The ships are usually
especially
like 30
for a
50.
Canadian model kit. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. So I saw this and I saw the huge buckets at GameStop and I was like, hell yeah, I'm grabbing that. I went to GameStop because sometimes I was like, well, maybe they have that new SH figure. It's Zorro. They did not have him, but I was already getting him anyway, so I don't know why I was even looking for another one.
That's what you do.
I mean, you did that with Nami.
That's the exact same thing I did. This was
he
really cool.
He needed a jar one and a shelf.
That's true. It's true.
No, the jar one is going to tie. The shelf one is right there. You can actually see her right there. Yeah.
He's
anyways,
with love.
Yeah, with love and. Anyways, I haven't built a model kit in a while. The last time I built a model kit was the General Grievous model kit, and I hated that because I was upstairs sitting on this awful chair, and I got really bad back pain from doing it because I was like, I'm going to do this all in one sitting. It was an awful idea. Terrible idea. Yeah, and then I originally built the Going Merry, the first ship that they have. I half built that model kit. Cam started it, I finished it. But I didn't really get a good satisfying experience of that. So this was my first like genuine fun time to just sit down for a couple days and enjoy working on this. There's some things I like about it. There's some things I don't like.
Obviously, this isn't in scale with anything else in my collection, but if it was in scale, Luffy would be like as tall as like the head, and that's ridiculous. I don't need something that big in my house. Is that like a mech they'll get in or something? Yeah. So this is this is a character who is like
He's like a cyborg,
made.
Right?
He's a cyborg, but he's built multiple other vehicles that can kind of combine. It's very like traditional, like Japanese,
like Megazord.
Yeah, Super Megazord inspired, and he makes this thing. So this you can actually take. So there's like treads on the back here. You can take some things apart and reform it into different vehicle modes and stuff. That's not very fun. So I have never planned to do that. It's just lame. I don't know. So in general, I think my big problem with this is the fact that it's like doing all that isn't very fun. And then the articulation on him is actually surprisingly good. I mean, you can get some pretty great like range of the arm. Like you can you can do that. That's pretty damn good.
Hell yeah.
He's got like these insane butterfly joints where you can just like bring the whole arm. So
Nice.
It's great.
Does he have individual fingers?
Yes, he does.
Make him flip the bird?
Oh, absolutely. I can't believe I haven't done that for you guys yet. Hold on. Let's do that. Well, obviously you can get him to go like, hello! And then you can get him to go.
Kawaii anime piece pose.
Yes.
Someone did that shit to me at work.
There we go.
Someone did what to you exactly?
Pose like an anime girl?
Yeah, so this woman asked me where something is.
Oh no.
Where she is, she goes like, she goes, it was weird. She goes like, thank you. And it was like a very aggressive, like, thank you. It was really animated.
Thank you.
Yeah, literally. It was like, thanks. And I was like, okay.
Anyways, so yeah, he's huge. He's really cool. He's fun. He's got to stand because he can't really stand without this. I mean, you can get him standing. Also, the stickers.
It looks like he's gooning a hot stream and it's just dripping out there.
He's like, oh! It's actually very useful. It's a great stand. I will say there's a lot of stickers that this guy has, and they were super annoying to put on. You can see all these
I don't
rough.
envy you for that. It seems like it's really annoying.
Not fun at all. Even like the legs, they get really rough down here. Like but it's on my shelf, and it's something that's never gonna bother me too much. I'm actually surprised I put the eyes on. Well, you cannot tell at all, but there's eyes there, and I'm surprised I was able to put those things on because they're so fucking small. Also, I hate model kit instruction books. They are the worst. They're so unintuitive compared to something like Lego. Oh my god, they're just like. It's so hard to tell what I'm doing. Look, I'm not critically the most smartest person. We all know that. But it's just I don't enjoy building model kits because of the instruction books. I just find everything to be very unintuitive. But
does he have elbows?
He does, but that's about the only range you can get.
Ah, okay.
Ooh. Cool.
It's very limited, but again, you can actually. Well, no, actually, yeah, everything from the elbow forward is honestly kind of limited. Like, he doesn't have, like, wrist hinges or anything, just, like, swivels. Yeah. There are alternate pieces where you can kind of make his hands more like you can bring his hands out like that. But again, I don't want to do that. I would rather just articulate it. You know, that seems like...
That's the weird thing with model kits is they're articulated, but it's also, like... It's like a mix between articulation and like pieces swapping, and I've always been
depends on the kits you get. Yeah.
Right. You're right. Yeah.
But yeah, this was a fun experience. I don't regret getting him. He goes right up on the shelf, and he's fun. And this is actually my first Frankie figure.
Does he have parts to take the sword out?
Yeah. So you can literally just take that out and then attach the blade, and you can just, because of that peg, you can just attach it right in the hand.
Sick.
The sword is actually over there. I would do that. The sword is huge.
You should come with little tiny like army men versions of the characters.
I agree. I actually have little ones for the ship that I should try to probably grab, but you have to paint them, unfortunately. They look like weird little dolls, so I don't like them. But yeah, that was the first thing. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on that long. I kept fumbling a bit there. So. I got a package the other day that I got two things. One of the things you guys don't know about because it's kind of nothing. But within this package, I got this thing. I haven't even opened this yet because I've been just like, I don't even know if I want to open this. This just might be staying on the wall. It is this shitty Bandai America Baby Luffy.
I have a real problem where I buy most of the Luffy figures I see. I own most of them, at least most of the cheaper ones, and I've never like. This is like they mostly make like Dragon Ball figures and stuff.
They do some Naruto ones.
Yeah, there's some Naruto. I mean, they've done like Demon Slayer and stuff. They have a bunch of different lines, but also probably one of the most garish looking box arts I've ever seen. It's really ugly looking. Like it's just they didn't really try.
Oh god, it's horrible.
It's really bad. They just like, yeah, let's put the same PNG on both sides there.
Is that just a wall of text?
Yeah.
This is warning, not suitable for children under 3 years old. Small parts.
Sorry, Braden. Looks like you can't have them.
I know. I gotta put them away. There's two of these. I only got Luffy. There's a Zoro too. I thought about getting the Zoro. Fun fact: he comes with his swords, but he doesn't come with gripping hands to hold the swords. Which is like, as a kid, isn't that the whole thing you'd want to do with him? Right? Seems very counter to it.
Fucking use swords?
No, not Luffy. I was talking about Zoro.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
He used the sword once, but he just beat people with it like an insane person. Because
he doesn't like to kill people.
No, he kills people all the time. He murdered like 15 people in Wano. He just doesn't care. But he doesn't actively go around and just like murder people. And obviously, the biggest thing I got yeah, Batman's an insane murderer. We all know that.
Yeah, they'll shove a grenade in your mouth.
Remember when he threatened Joker? Editor, put the clip up. Thank you.
I'm gonna kill you.
I will fucking kill you. Anyways, the most important thing I got this week, obviously, is the figure that you guys were bullying me for because I didn't open it the second I got it. The SH figure Zoro.
You didn't open it the second you got it. You didn't open it 10 minutes later. You also didn't open it 3 hours later. You opened it like 5, 6, 7 hours later.
10 hours later, you fool. Get it right.
Fuck. I took my photo.
Guy. Yeah, I was busy.
You fucking bitched and moaned about it for 2 days, and then you got it. You're like, I don't need to open it.
I bitched and moaned because they kept screwing me over. It wasn't necessarily, oh man.
Be excited to open it, but it was, I don't know. I guess I'll just wait.
You gotta be patient, man. Not everything's about ripping
stuff. You gotta be patient. Then don't bitch and moan for 2 days.
You bitch and moan if the postal service is screwing you over.
Yeah, but then he opens what he gets.
Yeah, I do.
You get what you fucking deserve. Okay. Anyways, this figure's great. It's really solid. It's probably one of the better. I was actually quite surprised. I went into this thinking it was going to be a slight upgrade. It is not. It is a very good figure. They've improved a lot with this. The original Zoro, for context, fucking train wreck. He's the worst figure of the entire line. He's awful. I've had to replace most of his. Like, I've added soft goods to him. Like, he falls apart. You had to buy
a new one because his wrist broke.
Yeah, I had to buy 2 of them, and it's $100 figure. So spent $200 goddamn dollars on him.
Plus,
he's not good.
Goods, yeah.
Yeah, soft goods. I actually bought. I bought 2 soft goods.
Did one of his swords break?
No. So what happened was,
why'd you buy this piece of shit?
Because it's.
Well, he didn't know it was going to be a piece of shit when it came out.
I'm sure you could have watched a review on it.
Yeah,
right?
but like it's one of the main characters. You can't just not buy it. I was gonna say it's like if
it's very important to him.
Yeah. It's like. I don't know. I guess you have options. If there's a shitty Spider-Man figure, you'll just wait till the next Spider-Man figure. But I don't got a lot of options, to be fair. It's either the best looking One Piece line, or the shitty ones that are too expensive, or the baby ones that look like shit, you know? So that's my stance. Anyways, the original figure wasn't good, so I was very worried. But getting him in hand, he's great. He poses well. There actually seems to be a little bit of different engineering going on with his shoulder joints, which I find very interesting. Because they've been a big fan of like the cap with the hinge. Mm-hmm. This figure kind of has that, but not really. Also, it gets really fucking ugly. If you want to ruin... Oh, well, you cannot see at all what's going on in there.
I can see how ugly it is. Jesus Christ.
You can do some insane shit with your shoulder. There is kind of a cap, but it's weird. Again, they did it in a very different...
When I crack a crab leg open and I take out all that...
Yes.
Slurp out Zoro's insides.
Sweet meat. So, let me just quickly point out something. on the original Zorro figure, he had a band like this, but it was a red like sash, and you had to actively push all the sword hilts through it. And so that's what happened. Cam ended up breaking it because he didn't know that, like, because it's awful. You have to put hard plastic through hard plastic. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's slightly
like all the swords had to go up against each other and then like peg into each other and then also peg into the sides of the loop.
Oh, what the fuck, dude? What?
Yeah.
There's swords.
Whereas this one, they're just individual loops that you slide them through.
You actually can't take these out.
Oh, there are like baby
Ninja
Turtles figures that have figured that shit out sooner. Why would you actively make it so complicated?
This line has a lot of problems. They have had some weird ass design philosophy. Which is why SH Figure Arts is so inconsistent. Sometimes they'll make a really solid, good figure, and you're like, wow, this is one of the best figures I've ever put my hands on. And then other times you're like, how the fuck did this get produced?
Yeah, it's like they put their veteran A team on the Naruto line, and then they put all their interns on the One Piece line.
Patch, your Spider-Man should have not been as bad as he was, because there are figures in this series that are fucking good. But I'm telling you, you got a bad experience. Yeah.
You got the B team big time.
The Mofex. Okay, I was the A team Mofex. Yeah. Lock in, Braden. Lock in. Lock in. There you go.
There we go.
Anyways, just to quickly sum it up, this is a great figure. He's got great accessories. They fixed a lot of the problems with the original figure, which is great. Articulation's pretty good. The legs are still limited by the single knees, which is, that's fine. The ankles aren't very good.
He's looking ass.
Yeah, the ankles aren't as good as I wish they were. But other than that,
bro is straight up prancing,
He's prancing. He's having a little prance.
He's happy he's got a good figure finally. He's jumping around and enjoying.
We've got the original, the big three of One Piece. We've got the big three. Luffy's great. Nami's okay. This guy's pretty good. So that's the ranking there.
How do you rank him among the line? Is he like top 5, top 3?
No, not top 3. Probably not top 5. Maybe top 5. It's hard. Ty, there's so many. I have them all back here. There's so many of them.
So they haven't made the whole team. The whole
Nope.
Because they've started on their look. So it's
they've made various members of the team. They're still missing 3, 4, 5 of the main team, I guess. If you want to count Jimbei and Brook. But they haven't made all the team in the same era costumes.
Yeah, right. So the original... So when the line first started, it was Luffy, Zoro, Sanji in the arc that they were on.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the Wano arc.
And they're like samurai
and then they switched... And they switched over to a side character who wasn't a main character. And then they just kept doing more side characters. Then they did Luffy's alternate form. They did the main villain for that arc.
Yeah.
Then they started
back
doing...
to the beginning.
Yeah, these guys. Then they started doing their first appearances. Yes. And now they're doing the current future arc looks.
The sci-fi outfits. They've teased, they've teased 2 more from the original looks, but they haven't
last
put them
year
up for pre-order yet.
So it's a little confusing.
It is. They're a little all over the place.
They're stringing you along, man.
Oh,
they're basically, they are. I don't know if they'll ever.
For all it's worth.
In my lifetime, I don't know if they're ever going to get around to finishing the whole like Wano crew. I sure hope they do, because I like a lot of those looks, but maybe they won't. I don't know. Either way, it's a living. So that's all I have to say. Sorry for rambling.
No, it's good.
It's okay. You're excited to goon about One Piece. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, I hope they get to the rest of the crew. I would like them to make a Nami with a neutral expression, because she doesn't have one in the regular figure.
I know why you want a Nami. You sick bastard.
I want a neutral expression. Fuck you. I told you. I was mad about that. Also, Last of Us Season 2 started. Talk about it.
This is very, very odd that you placed it literally right here.
We're starting.
I agree. I agree with this. Look at my finger. This looks huge. Jesus.
There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure on me. Okay. So The Last of Us Season 2 is here. Nobody else cares about it. So Aiden watched it, I guess.
He's not here.
He's not. He died, unfortunately. So we have to.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
He doesn't know. But,
he doesn't know better.
He doesn't know no better.
He's never played
Anyways,
the second game, so does he know what happens?
I think so.
I think he like vaguely knows, but he didn't experience it in the moment, which I find
Yeah.
if you don't experience it in the moment, you don't truly know.
Right. If you've
True.
missed
You
that,
don't know
like
how
If you weren't
fucking
there,
dumb it
if you
was.
weren't there for the leaks, if you weren't there for the leaks, you don't know.
I remember. That was 5 years ago, man. It's 5 years ago.
fucked
Isn't
up.
that wild?
Dude, you remember they leaked like 2 scenes. They leaked the big scene where the thing happens that everyone hates, and then they leaked the goddamn goon scene. Like,
Yeah. You mean the one where the person you just watched commit a heinous act gets a heinous act committed upon them?
So that was
Should I
funny.
say an anus act?
That's funny because I had no context for the second scene at all. So I was like, hey, this is going to be really fucked up. And then it's just a sex scene. I was like, oh, it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's just
I thought it was
a video game anal scene.
Anyways, so the show started.
How can you do that? Sorry,
I don't know.
Why did they include that scene? It makes it
It's probably going to be in the show, too. I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Anyways,
Sorry.
it's okay. So yeah, I'm really the only one who's like interested in this because nobody gives a shit. But I will say this is nice because I got my parents to watch the original first season with me, and they were like, my mom was actively like looking forward to this. And again, I know what's gonna happen vaguely, so I'm like, maybe we'll see.
Not vaguely. You played it.
Yeah, but they might switch things up. They've already said that there's differences or whatever.
That's fair.
They're-
They're
but-
also stretching it into 2 seasons.
Bro, it's a black or white decision. Either you do it or you don't do
Yeah.
it. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm just curious about how. I don't know.
It won't be a golf club. It'll be like a pool cue or something.
They're gonna draw it out as long as they can,
yeah.
long as they can, and then they're gonna do it. Sorry, brain talk. For God's sake, I'm so sorry.
Okay. When I don't talk when you talk, but
No. I'm saying for God's sake to myself.
I'm kidding. No, it's fine. Anyways, the first episode, I will say, this show it can be really boring at times. It drags on a lot in this first episode. Like I forgot in season 1 there are scenes where you're just like, I wish it was over like 2 minutes ago, because they will just monotonously talk about things you do not care about at all. And I understand why it's there. I know they're trying to build the relationships and build it up and make it feel real. I get it. But sometimes you don't give a shit.
But just to interject, that is the entire vibe of the second game. So it's accurate.
It's
This is
true.
Sorry, I want to say so much, but just keep going, man. Just keep going. I gotta pull myself back.
Okay. You have stuff to say. I mean, it's kind of nice that I'm not the only one saying anything. What were you gonna say, Thatch?
You're igniting a flame. Basically, my thing is that the second game was already drawn out, right? Like really drawn out.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the issue is that the best part of the second game is not the writing; it is the gameplay, which is from what I've heard. I haven't played it, but from what I've heard, the gameplay is the best part. Like it's really refined. They've made it really good. That's not going to be in the show, which means that the show is just gonna be the drawn out, poorly written, poorly paced story with not the gameplay that keeps it alive. And it's like,
and the super unlikable characters.
yes.
They're all pretty unlikable. That's another thing. Is like they
still
start off-
unlikable.
Oh, they're not great. Everyone's just kind of a dick to each other at this point, which is like they're all sarcastic assholes and just mean to each other. Like Ellie's like sarcastic to which obviously, look, here's the thing. Ellie's sarcastic in season 1. She's like a little shit. That's her whole dynamic in season 1. But now she's with other people and there isn't like someone to like ground her. Now she's just a dick. You know, like
she's no longer 14. She's like 20 or something.
So now it feels like you should have learned better. You should have grown up by now instead of being still a prick. Like she's still very unlikable in this first episode, and she's got like one of the very first scenes of the season is, well, obviously you get the introductory scene with Abby, and they're like, Joel's gonna pay, and then 5 years later they're still looking for this motherfucker. I don't know what took them so long. I don't know how it took them this long to find Joel, but there you go.
She had to practice her golf swing.
She did. By the way, the actress who plays Abby is incredible. I hope she's probably going to bring a lot up. Like, she's probably going to be the best part of the season because she's a really good actress. But again, it's also like she's got tasked with playing probably one of the worst characters in the
Most
series.
hated
also a very
characters in
different-
video game history. Yeah, completely
Yeah.
different build.
Yeah, she's a very different like visual version of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's much
nothing,
smaller.
nothing like.
Which is
video
weird
game.
because her like strength and like, you know, broad like musculature was like a huge part of her like demeanor and like presentation in that like
Yeah.
it's like they literally show a skinny version of her and show a big buff version of like that's like her physical presence is a huge part of the storytelling of her character in the show. It's weird that it's just not relevant anymore, you know?
She's the Joel of the second game because
Yeah.
she's jacked and huge.
But then they don't
Yeah.
they don't use her swollenness in the second game, like, because you would think they made her swole so that she could fight Joel, but she doesn't. She ambushes him and then, like, you know, gangs up on him.
And again, in gameplay, I bet she's stronger and more like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
She
that's
is.
not the movie, so.
She does some crazy. I remember she like lifts shit off. Anyways, regardless, one of the opening scenes in this was one of the most boring, drawn out scenes I've ever seen. Joel's like working on a little device. He's got glasses on. He's straight.
Looks
Joel's
like
like
Grandpa.
61. Yeah, he's 61. By the way, he's fucking old. He's really old in this show. He's sitting there working on a little device. Dana comes in and she's like, "Hey, what you working on?" And he just yaps about like technical shit for like 3 minutes, and I'm like, I don't care about any of this. I'm sure they're trying to like set up something with that, but it's the least interesting conversation I've ever heard in my life. And then he's like, "Oh, I'm going to therapy. Don't tell Ellie." It's like, what? And then we have this whole scene where Joel goes to therapy.
He's a licensed therapist in the apocalypse.
It is Kevin McAllister's mom from Home Alone, apparently. And I got this really strange scene where she's high and she's like really passive aggressive to Joel, and she's like, "I'm supposed to listen to you," and he's like, "Aren't you supposed to like listen to me?" And she's like, "Well, I don't give a fuck." And then she's like, "You killed my husband." I'm like, "Is that something I missed from the like? I don't remember this shit."
What?
And then she's like, "You're hiding something. What is it, Joel?" And he's like, "Have a good day." Because they're trying to be like, "Oh, Joel hasn't told. He's lying about Ellie." It's very strange. I hated everything to do with it. It was very
Whose
odd.
husband did he kill? What?
Yeah, what?
It's again, I might have missed something. Maybe I wasn't listening. I was also arguing with you guys when this
who was he talking to?
the therapist woman.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know who it was supposed to be. I have no idea. Maybe it's someone from season 1. I don't remember. I have no
I
idea.
don't remember.
It's been 2 years since season 1, so I don't fucking know.
I think I vaguely was there a therapist in the second game? I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't think so.
I think I remember Joel talking to someone about his problems. I don't think it was a therapist.
Probably Tommy or Maria or something.
Yeah.
It's weird. Anyways, then they also established that
Right.
Tommy and Maria are in like a weird like city council together, and it's like you guys are adding so many details that nobody gives a fuck about. Why do we care about this little stuff? It's the same thing with season 1. I like season 1. I think season 1's a solid season, but there are a lot of little things that they added just to be like, you know, this is.
I remember I liked some of the stuff they added and some of it I didn't, but some of it I did. Like I liked the
great.
Yowie episode a lot. Like I loved that episode. You know? But
Vivian taught you that. I know that.
but I don't know. I some of the other stuff was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, there's a lot of that in this episode. Obviously, Ellie meets Dina, and they go on a patrol. They introduce the idea of smart zombies, which I believe are in the second game, but I believe they do that later,
What?
if I remember correctly.
It's smart. How smart?
So there's like a zombie. So Ellie's she falls into into like an abandoned grocery store, and there's a zombie like kind of like sneaking and trying to like coax her out. It's interesting.
Like poop?
Yeah. It's actually creeping around in the background.
Right? It's not.
No. There's no talking zombies.
Okay.
I thought for a second it was gonna talk because it starts going like. So I was like, oh shit, are you gonna start talking?
She like rounds a corner and goes, boo.
But Ellie has to like Ellie brings it up to the council. It's like this thing is smart. It learned. It's learning, and I was like, that's weird. Okay, which again, I think that's
believe you because you're a bitch, Ellie.
actually no. What happens is, it's Dina's like, I saw it too, and then they leave, and Tommy's like, or Maria's like, Ellie's telling the truth. Dina's lying. But why? What's happening?
They were
It's
saying
like,
the
how?
same thing.
What?
What?
It's so weird. They're like
awful, dude.
it's not.
It sounds
pretty rough.
like it sucks
pretty
already.
It's pretty rough.
This sounds worse than the game, which I thought it was at least going to be a little bit better, but this sounds worse.
Yeah,
We'll see where it's going.
The second game's pretty hype up until the golf club.
Yeah.
And then obviously they have their cool New Year's party that's like a 1-for-1 recreation from the game. And then the homophobe is like, "Ew, don't kiss," and then Joel punches him in the face.
Ew.
There's a homophobe in Last of Us?
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, there's it's part of the drama because like in the second game, Joel, it's all told through flashbacks. You don't get it at the beginning, but Joel punches a guy who was harassing Ellie, and Ellie's like, "I can defend myself," and she gets mad at him and tells him to fuck off, and then he dies.
Yeah, she gets really mad at him.
Dude, these people are so like
Evil.
insecure.
It's like CW.
yeah.
It's like CW drama.
They're so insecure. They feel threatened by the dumbest shit. Like your dad defended you, and you're instead of being like that guy. Like any normal person's reaction would have been like, "Man, that guy was an asshole." Like I'm glad he's. Yeah. But it's like, no, I could. Like, why are you so insecure, Ellie?
Yeah.
What are you trying to prove? Like everyone's really insecure and sarcastic, and I hate that. I hate those people.
That's the whole. I mean, obviously they're trying to do that so that she feels worse when Joel dies, but it's like done in the worst way that you can go about. It's like the most like lazy.
It's like hormonal and like illogical. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. The justification is
It's
that
she's
a
3-year-old
teenager.
goddamn woman. Like,
But she's not a teenager though. She
Like,
was.
why-
She's not now.
why would you? Just weird that you focus on like it's. Everyone's so
I think
insecure, man.
she's.
Even
I think she should be
the
like early
therapist sounds-
20s because when you cut to the future in the second game, I think she's like almost 30 or so.
No, she's like, I think
Isn't
it's
she, like-
5 years. She's 14. So what's 14 plus?
So she'd be
I
19.
thought she.
She's
I thought she was like
almost
19.
20.
I thought she was
Yeah.
like 19.
Yeah, she's
How
almost.
old
She should know
is
better.
Ellie at the start of The Last of Us 2. She's 19.
It's just the drama's
She
written.
should know better by now, basically.
Yeah.
The drama's written like everyone is just an asshole and really insecure and.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why
No,
nobody
you
likes
get
anyone
that.
in the second game.
Yeah, you get that. Even
Why-
everyone on the bad guy's sides are assholes. Everyone on the good side guys' sides are assholes. The only one who's not an asshole, honestly, is Tommy. He's the only one
Yeah.
getting shit done in that game.
He's
But
the
I
only
already don't
one
like
with
the show.
justifiable motivations.
Even in the show, he's like a bit of a dick. So it's like, okay, I don't
Neil
like.
Druckmann just surrounded by assholes, and he just thinks
I
that's how
think
people
so.
talk.
I think he let the evil hate get to him.
He
I think-
let the rot in.
Yeah. So I don't think this was the greatest start to the season. I don't know why I'm holding out hope for the show. I have no idea why I have a little shred of like this could be because I think the biggest problem with the game is that you have to sit through all the like you have to play Abby. You have to be there every second of like a 30-hour campaign with her. You know, at least with the show they can condense that. So I'm hoping the Abby stuff
They're
is at
not.
least better.
They're
Expanding
no.
it into like
They're
expanding into
it's
the
2
long as they
seasons,
can.
my guy.
Yeah,
I know.
maybe 3. They've threatened 3, which is insane.
3 seasons.
It's
I don't,
I don't know. I
I
should.
have a question for you. Did your parents like it?
They did. My dad surprisingly liked it. There was a comment where like Joel was
I wonder
there was a
how his
comment.
opinion will turn.
yeah. Well, I know my mom's probably not going to like it because the whole reason she likes this show is for Pedro Pascal. So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
we'll see what happens there.
What were you gonna say? Sorry, there was a comment.
Sorry, there was a like right before like Joel's going in to talk to the therapist and he's like, "Oh boy, here we go. We're going to talk about emotions for 30 minutes." And it was an hour-long episode. It kind of went by quick, honestly. Like it didn't actually feel that long, so I'll give it credit there. But maybe because I was just actively waiting for stuff to happen, I don't know. They're enjoying it. I will say the actual experience of sitting down and watching the show with my parents again is very nice. I think that's the best part of it. That's the fun of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how good the show is going to be. I don't know how it's going to end up. I'm there. I'm there till the end. I'm unless it's really bad and we just stop. There's always a possibility we just give up on it if it gets really bad. But the first episode wasn't enough to deter us. There's some fun action with some zombies. There's some cool stuff there. And I'm interested. I want to see the bad stuff happen. I want to see how they handle it. That's where I'm at. I hope it's okay. I don't. Call me in denial. I just want to see how it goes. That's basically where I'm at with this show. And if it ends up a dumpster fire, then guess we'll cut our losses. First season was pretty good.
I just want him to get to the thing so that I can know what the reactions are like.
Well, maybe we'll find out on Sunday. Maybe we won't.
Maybe.
I don't know. Maybe they'll delay it another episode.
Stretch it out. They'll probably put it at the end of the fucking season. They'll just put all the flashbacks into the first season.
They actually didn't do any flashbacks in this episode, which is aside from the season.
A lot of the episode is what were flashbacks in the game.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's just the start of the game.
No, there's like the punching stuff. A lot of that context you don't get until later in the game.
No.
Yeah.
That scene's the opening of the game, Tyler.
I don't think so.
It is.
I don't think so.
So just to clear the air on this, I was right, Braden was wrong. It's about 3.5 hours into the movie edit only cutscenes that you finally get the flashback of Joel beating up on the bigot.
I remember because whatever, doesn't matter. But it is. You're wrong.
Okay. Sure, buddy.
Your mouth is moving a lot like a rat. Yappa, 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 yappa. Shut it, please.
Speaking of bad things, Superman action figures from McFarlane
What?
Toys.
What? This is an insane switch. I'm here for it, but holy crap!
It wasn't. I didn't vouch to have Last of Us be the beginning of the episode, but you know what?
No, I'm glad it was. I will defend that statement till the day we die.
I don't think it's that dramatic.
Let's see. What do we got? We got Egghead. We got Egghead in his devolved state. We got Egghead's evolved form. And then we got the Super Mister. And we got the dog. And also the robot. Oh, there we go. Lex Luthor. So
there's two Supermen. Just worth saying. There's one.
I sent all the pictures in one, but there's two.
There's because there's a pack that comes with Crypto and Superman, and they got cloth capes, and then there's a single release Superman with this shitty plastic cape.
Yes. They call the Superman like the deluxe movie edition or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Even fucking robot a cloth cape, but not the normal Superman.
Yeah, it's very odd.
Though they call the Lex a deluxe as well, right? Because he comes with the Kaiju baby and alternate heads and stuff.
He does, yes.
Oh, there's also Mr. Terrific. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah. There's Mr. We gotta talk about Mr. Terrific.
Mr. Terrific.
A lot of figures
and a couple other pictures.
Yeah, they're really going all out for this movie, which is, you know, it's nice to see like people do that with their
marketing.
Like, Marvel Legends is like making barely enough figures for every Marvel property, you know.
Yeah.
So what do we think?
I think the Superman looks fine. I think he looks totally fine. It's like there's nothing. I mean, the likeness. Looking at it now, it looks fine. It's not perfect, but it looks like the guy. It's not like ugly to me. You know, the one with the plastic cape is like lame, but I think he looks fine. I don't know.
I feel like his upper chest is way too huge.
Oh yeah.
Like his proportions are a little wacky.
But that's also just McFarlane proportions, though.
Yeah.
I think his shoulders are a little too broad. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
But also, that's just kind of like.
Body looks weird. Well, just like the upper torso looks like. Yeah. I think it's because of how they cut the ab area, but it makes his torso look like really oddly kind of frumpy.
It does, but I'm not gonna complain about that too much on a Superman because that's kind of Superman's thing is that he's like a broad-shouldered hero guy. It's fine. He looks fine. If you saw the movie and you like it and you're like, I want a Superman figure, I think this will be fine. Like this will do the trick.
This will hold you over. NECA's also doing one, by the way.
I've seen that. NECA's
doing one? Weird.
But it might be like a jumbo one. I don't know.
I think they said 1/18th. 1/18th, I believe. So it's not 1/18th. What am I talking about?
No, 1/18th would be small.
No. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, he's probably the best one out of these.
How about Lex, you guys?
So this is really sad for me because I really like Nicholas Hoult the actor who's playing Lex. And I love him as Lex. And any behind the scenes photo they show of him in the Lex suit, and I'm like, dude, that's Lex. Like, that's a young Lex. Like, perfect. I'm so excited. Really sad this figure sucks dick.
This looks like fucking horrible.
It looks like Kingpin's skinny brother.
Like
Yeah.
his
eyes are like
monkey arms. What's going on?
He's got like
He's
got like anime girl eyes, like they're too big and like painted too much. Like
it's very ugly. They didn't. Yeah. They didn't put. I think they only put a couple guys up for pre-order. They didn't put him up for pre-order yet.
No, that's the only picture of him.
Yeah, same thing with Mr. Terrific. He's not up for pre-order either, and the robot as well. Those three haven't gone up yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he looks fucking awful.
He looks so really ugly.
Yeah.
His arms are hideous.
I think. Yeah, I don't. That pose is never going to be natural for a figure like that. It's very strange because they've got those. I'm sure it's like really flat arms too.
Yeah.
So you're getting like a really ugly like. I mean, I don't think it's going to look very good, anyways. But still, they're not helping themselves with this ugly pose.
I agree with that.
Also, not the outfit I would have gone for. I would have gone for like
the jacket off with the
with the vest. Yeah.
Yes, that would have been sick, dude. That would have been awesome.
That would have been great with
the
revolver.
Epic Lex variant.
Sunglasses. That'd be peak, but no.
Oh, dude! Him and his like aura sunglasses.
Yeah. What about Absorbing Man here? What do you guys think about that?
Yeah.
He's not Absorbing, he's Metamorpho.
Same thing.
Yeah.
I really like that he's just got like workout like shorts.
Yeah, like sweatshorts.
Yes.
He's ugly. He's covered in like dried feces.
Yeah, I don't have a connection to Metamorpho. Aiden says he looks good, and I know Aiden knows more about Metamorpho than I do, so I'm sure he's accurate.
I know he's very accurate looking.
He's got this thing that James Gunn does where, now I really respect the practical effects. I think that's really cool, but he's got that thing where it's like clearly like a shoulder headpiece that goes over the body, so it makes their heads and their necks look really big, and then it makes their hands look small, and that's just the design of the character, and he just looks fucking gross in my opinion, and I know it's probably accurate, but and this figure looks even grosser, man. Like I hate the fucking, I don't know if it's just an articulation thing or if in the design he's gonna have his bones exposed on that one leg, like the kneecap and the ankle.
Yeah, I think it's just because they couldn't get translucent material for the joints.
Yeah.
But it looks like his bones are sticking out, and I really don't like that.
It's
just a symptom of Todd's bad design.
Based on what we've seen from the movie still that we saw earlier, the movie design looks way better than this. Obviously, this doesn't even look nearly as good.
Yeah, he's a lot bulkier in the movie.
Yeah, because he's got that James Gunn scary thing that Thatch was talking about. They all look kind of bloated.
Yeah.
They all look kind of like they've eaten too much Thanksgiving turkey.
Thanksgiving turkey.
Or turkey.
Yeah, he looks like a freak a little bit. And then we get the 5, not even like 3 points of articulation kaiju.
Yeah, so this fucking sucks. Like I don't know what's been happening where they've been just like taking away articulation from these things. It's like, because I always wanted that fish man from Aquaman because I thought he looked fun. He's too expensive. He's like $65 over here, so I'm not buying him. But I like the fact that he's like a big articulated thing. I don't know why they're like, let's just give him like no articulation. And I don't think he's gonna be that big. I think he's gonna be like probably.
It's gonna be bigger.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
He's like a kaiju. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the thing that we see in the trailer that's like shooting fire at buildings.
No, I know. I don't mean like size. I just mean like the figure itself isn't gonna be very big.
Yeah, no.
That's what I mean. It's gonna be like 8-9 inches maybe. Like that's how big we're talking here.
Yeah.
No, this guy looks terrible. I will say the design of the monster itself, I think, is really cool. It looks like you turned an axolotl into a kaiju.
I was gonna say that. Yep. Yeah. I was gonna say it's like a messed up version of an axolotl, which is funny.
I like it. I think it's cool. But this figure sucks.
This figure blows.
It's not really bad. The lack of like when I looked at it, I was like, that's really cool, and then I saw the articulation points. I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
Nope. Maybe
Then we got the robot. Robot looks pretty
yeah, he's
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Does he have a pinned ab joint? What's happening there?
good. Yeah, he's got an
Am I
ab
going
crunch
He's
with
got,
like a pin.
he's got an ab crunch. Yeah.
That's bizarre. It's like with a pin in it. That's so weird.
Yeah, all
Yeah, I
his
mean,
joints
most-
are pins.
Yeah. It's not hidden. They're not.
Yeah.
They usually hide the ab crunch pin. They don't hide it here.
Yeah,
So-
it makes sense. He's a robot. It's not that weird. I
Just
like
Todd
these
doesn't
robots.
know what he's doing when it comes to designing joints.
He just refuses to do pinless fucking anything, and it pisses me off.
Yeah,
Yep.
he refuses
Oh,
to use modern
kind of.
technology whatsoever.
No, actually, it still does have pins. But look what they did for Mr. Terrific here.
Mr. Terrific, yeah, this actual lie.
It's not a lie.
It's an
just
illusion.
deception. Yeah, it's an
Yeah.
illusion. But it's not
Weird.
Black Series where they're like,
It looks
Yeah,
like they
it's not
were.
Photoshop.
Looks like they were forced to do it because of the fair play print. They
Yeah.
had
Yes.
to. They had
You
to.
can't have those big ugly.
They had to
that would have
do
been
some
looked
kind of
really
weird, like, it's like a panel or something that they glued over it.
Yeah.
so weird. I kind of like his. I never realized how like sports star the Mr. Terrific outfit is. It's very interesting.
Yeah, Mr. Terrific's got a
Very-
weird
it's very
look. I like
sporty.
it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
It's weird.
This version of him has sort of like a Lord Tech uniform. You'll notice if you look at pictures of his outfit, it's very similar to Hawk Girls because
Yes.
they're on the same team, and it's also very
And,
similar to
Green
Guy
Lantern.
Gardner's. Yeah,
Yep.
because they're on the same team under the same company.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the idea is that when we see him again, if they're not working for the Lord thing, we'll probably get more like accurate
Yeah,
costumes.
more individual.
Well,
which
he's-
this is
he's
also
pretty
super accurate.
He is.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
weird. It's like they picked his design to base all of theirs off of.
yeah.
Which is interesting.
So
Because
I
Hot Girls
imagine
isn't accurate at all.
if he shows up again, it'll just be minor changes.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's cool. I mean,
I don't like his weird. I don't like this weird face cut off thing that they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
For the swappable faces, it makes him look like Leatherhead from fucking
Oh, I see
Texas
that,
Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Like just
Yeah.
strapped on. Ugh, it's creepy.
it's. I don't know why they don't insist on just doing alternate head sculpts.
Yeah.
Well, like they had to do for Lex,
Yeah,
you know. So I don't know. Just do it. It's not hard. Hasbro
No,
can
it's
do it.
not.
You can fucking do it.
yeah. Hey. So
Whatever.
kind of a mixed bag.
Superman
Yeah.
looks the best. If you want Superman, go get
Yeah.
Superman. That's it. That's basically all.
I don't think this will happen because they label the robot number 4. You know,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
huge missed opportunity to have swappable plates there to just have the different robots. Like you
Yeah.
can army build. You know, I'm kind of shocked that he doesn't have that.
That would make
Yeah.
sense.
Maybe.
Well,
maybe.
we actually don't know yet because the figure.
Maybe,
hasn't
but
come
it's
out
because
yet.
they named him Robot Number 4.
Oh,
I
they
was
did.
like,
Mm,
feels
okay.
like yeah.
Fair enough. Well,
Yeah.
maybe
It is a
Fair to
separate
say.
piece though, so they could easily just do
Resell
other. Yeah,
I hope- I
swap
hope
it out
so,
with
because-
repaints.
It would
Well,
be-
if they that or if again, we haven't actually seen it yet. Maybe the deluxe figure will come. Maybe it's like one of the movie deluxes and it has fucking 12 plates.
yeah.
You just put on there. That's funny.
I really don't like their version of deluxe being let's have a giant sculpted buddy to go with it, and then it's deluxe. Like, turn that buddy into a bunch of little accessories that I can
Yeah.
use. Don't give me a little buddy.
Oh, the McFarlane's deluxe system is awful. It's this or the stupid card stands that are the worst thing ever. For the
It's
collector.
weird because this
editions.
guy had a shit ton of accessories and he was normal price. Like,
Right, that's
absolutely
weird.
normal price.
And also, it's just their
whatever.
excuse to jack up prices for like classic ass characters too, which is a damn
Yeah.
shame.
True.
Anyways,
Well,
what's next?
brief pause because I forgot to grab pictures for this,
Ruh-roh.
and I was kind of assuming that Aiden was going to be here because there's
Wow.
for this. But
Well, Aiden
put them
died.
in the pictures. I
Aiden's
know he
just
died
smoking the
tragically.
dumpster right now.
He'll never get to experience the joy that
very-
is this figure.
It was a very tragic and violent death.
Yeah, I think
was
he
mauled
will.
by a-
I think he will crawl out of the grave when this figure releases. Honestly,
He was mauled by a Komodo dragon.
What?
I don't think anyone has ever died that way, ever.
Yeah, you
I
realize
think you're
they're
absolutely
not
wrong.
that powerful, right?
If you just sit there and let it happen, I mean,
Who's gonna let it happen? What? Also, I've seen a Komodo dragon in person. They're not that big, and they're not that strong.
I'm just telling you, if they just let it happen, it's the game over.
Also, I don't think they're carnivorous.
No.
Well, you'd be surprised.
Braden, you haven't seen them the way I.
You be surprised.
Look, all I'm saying is I maybe lost a couple kids to a couple Komodo dragons.
You've never had sex.
You don't need
just
to
did
have
a Wilson Fisk ass fucking. Oh, he went. Yes.
When I was a boy, my children got mauled by Komodo dragons.
Out of frame right now. His fist is like, when I was a boy.
When I was a boy.
He's doing fucking this fucking thing that Fisk does or whatever. It's like
When I was a child, I was fucking killing Komodo dragons every week.
Vanessa, the Komodo dragons. They must be outlawed.
No more.
we're gonna martial law. We're killing all of them.
That would be cooler.
We'll make the Komodo dragons extinct.
He just wants to kill all Komodo dragons.
Yeah, he's got a
Has
vendetta.
nothing to do with anything. He's like, Mr. Murdoch, I have no vendetta against you. I simply want to kill the Komodo
Murdoch, if you do not surrender that lizard, I will have to expose your identity.
I don't have a lizard. Cuts to Matt Murdoch stuffing thousands of lizards
in a trunk.
Yeah.
All right.
Have them.
Aiden and I got the amazing Hellcat Studio 5K toys, not Gandalf. Well, Hellcat Studio's back at it again with an insane figure of Aragorn. Fucking gorgeous. This figure is ludicrous. Oh my god.
It's a little man.
Yeah, he is. He's a real little man. And he's got all the fucking aura that Aragorn ever had in the entire trilogy. Look at that.
Whoa.
Look at him. Look at this guy.
Whoa!
Fucking sex icon.
It's Jesus.
It is.
I've got a very important question for you regarding this figure.
What?
Did this make you cancel your SH Figure Arts pre-order?
No.
Damn. Really?
Because it's soft goods. So I can't play with it all that much.
Oh, okay. Are you still
But I might-
getting this?
Yeah, I'm going to get this. But I might, when I want to like mess with an Aragorn figure, I might head swap.
He's got real hair. That's scary.
He does. He does have real hair. I hope he has a plastic hair option like Gandalf did. We shall see. There's no information on that as of yet, so probably not. But man, this is gorgeous. And if this is the only other one they make, he'll make a perfect companion with Gandalf.
Somebody got to give him a Band-Aid. He's bleeding.
He's always bleeding. A little bit.
Why?
Because he gets roughed up.
Yeah, that's fair. But someone got to give him some Neosporin.
He goes to war, my brother. They don't have Neosporin in Middle effing Earth, okay?
You better get some.
You go to the Walgreens and get some Neosporin.
Yeah. Best he's gonna get is dip his hand in some fucking mead or something.
No, fucking. They'll be like the elves will be like.
Can you imagine they're about to go to war? They're about to go to war, and Aragorn is like, "Hold on a sec," pulls out a fucking modern ass can of piss, and just opens it.
Just starts dabbing some sunscreen on his face. Like it's really
Like,
the eye of Sauron really does a number on your skin.
he's like,
A lot of men don't value their skincare, but they really should.
There's like, you guys ever seen that shot?
The elves taught me this.
You ever seen that shot from the Walking Dead pilot where there's just a guy with no zombie makeup just drinking a bottle of water in the background? I want that. I want in one of these movies to just have like a guy just pull out like an Advil bottle and just start dropping pills like in the background.
Fucking Game of Thrones already did that when they left a fucking Starbucks cup on Daenerys' table.
But the character didn't.
And then the Mandalorian did that when there was just a guy in regular ass
And they
clothes in a
CGI'd him out.
hallway.
They took him out though. They
Howard.
censored my man. They should have left him in. He should have had a canon name.
I want to get a deluxe black series of Wallman.
Yeah,
So bad.
he should have gotten a comic spin-off explaining how that modern day guy got into the Star Wars universe.
It would have been cool time travel. They could have done something fun with that, but no, they don't.
Like
They're not. They
fell
don't
through
like to
a
have
wormhole
fun.
or something.
They don't like to have fun with their franchise. CGI the man out. You barely see.
Yeah, they were embarrassed, the cowards. Anywho,
George Lucas.
On to some SH Figure Arts news.
Already?
Whoa! We're gonna start with something pretty bizarre. Get it?
Star Wars.
JoJo reference? Do you have a picture of this, Brett?
Old
I have
meme.
photos of both because this is the thing
It's
I wanted
not
to
an
talk
old
about.
meme. It's actually very relevant.
A modern meme, dude.
Fucking
Yeah.
2022 ass meme. What the fuck?
It is
a
very
modern-
relevant, my brother. My
Modern
brother.
age. You wish.
We
Anyways,
got SH Figure Arts JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
yeah, this is a brand new. They're on their mission to
Brand
make
new
every.
line.
They're
They
on their-
revealed all 6 protagonists at once.
Yeah, so they're on their mission to make every single Shonen Jump franchise a figure
Is JoJo?
line.
Is JoJo Shonen?
Yep, it's
Weird.
Shonen Jump. Yep. It was JoJo's is old. by the way.
Bizarre.
JoJo's
It's
from
like
the 80s.
it's like I would have said 90s, but yeah, 80s makes more sense.
No, it's 80s. This was like Fist of the North Star type shit. It's really old. It was. I've been doing a bit of a JoJo's deep dive recently because I've been very fascinated because I tried watching it.
Prime weeb era, dude. You've been
Yeah.
weebing out of control.
Well,
bro.
I watched it in high school.
He's
and
attained
I watched,
a higher level of weebism.
I watched it in high school. I watched part 1. Part 1 is like 9 episodes, so it's like very easy to like sit
Very
through.
fast, yeah.
Yeah, it's literally Victorian era. Like it takes place in England. It's like vampires and shit. It's kind of cool. I like part 1.
Braden's on his way to becoming an elder weeb.
Jonathan Joestar is
Elder
the figure that's
statesman.
here. He's the first Joestar. I like him. He's fun. He's just a very chivalrous.
This is the JoJo of JoJo.
This is the first. Yes, this is the first JoJo. It's Jonathan Joestar. The second one in the photo, which is the one on the far right.
Top right.
Yes, that's the next JoJo. That's his grandson, Joseph Joestar.
Joseph Joestar. Yep.
That one takes place in like late 1930s, like New York, and is about like Aztec gods coming to destroy the world. It's fucking crazy. It's bizarre, you might say.
Then we
I
get
also
into
finished that part.
everyone's favorite.
Yes, part 3. Jotaro Kujo.
Jotaro Joestar.
No, Jotaro Kujo, actually.
Kujo?
You're
Yes,
stupid.
Kujo.
You're such a weeb.
Yeah, because it's Jotaro Kujo. Not all their names are Joestar, actually.
Aren't they all
That's
part of
don't
the
look-
same family though?
They are, but there's like the family changes, so
That's
their
weird.
names get more vague.
That's stupid.
Yeah, I think the next
That's
guy
bizarre.
I think the next guy is like Josuke, like Joshihira or some shit like that. They keep getting more abstract each name because they reboot after part 6. Anyways, I'm going on a whole tangent.
Dude,
Either
you
way,
are elder
that's
states
just
weeb.
let me talk about some. Okay, Spider-Man
Just
brand
let
new
me
day had a new
talk,
fucking
okay?
foot picture revealed on the weekend.
I'm not talking about it this week, bro. I've been talking for 2 weeks, bro.
All I'm saying is you're allowed to be nerdy about that. I'm allowed to be nerdy about this shit,
You
okay?
can be nerdy about it, but I can tease you.
I could tease you about Spider-Man then.
You do. You literally do.
Ladies,
You do!
ladies. Come on.
I talk about JoJo.
Are you gonna let me talk about
JoJo.
Fantastic Four then? Is that the deal?
Yes.
I'm gonna be talking about Fantastic Four. Or are you gonna
Bro.
take over Fantastic Four? Talk about Marvel Rivals. Is that what's gonna happen?
Bro, you're gonna talk over us when it gets to Fantastic Four. Don't lie.
Yeah. And we've already talked about Fantastic Four, you and me.
I'm gonna scream into your eyelids. Is what I'm gonna do.
Anyway,
Exactly.
I'm also excited for Fantastic Four. Just give me 1 second, please.
We're not there yet. Shut up.
I was
No,
just saying. Anyways, it's pretty bold for a new action figure line to show 6 figures off immediately. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Especially for an import line, I mean. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they don't usually do that. They'll show maybe 1, 2 characters. They don't usually do 6.
yeah.
Part 7 just got announced recently as an anime, so that's cool. We'll probably
You know who
see
the
him.
protagonist is of that?
I think it's
Jobadiah. Jedediah.
No. Part 7 is a western, and I think it's I think
Oh,
his
okay,
name.
interesting.
Yes, because they reboot on part 6, the universe gets like reset. So part 7 is like back to the 1800s Western.
Interesting. Okay.
I think it's Johnny Joestar. I'm pretty sure.
Johnny Joestar.
Yeah, I think they go back to Joestar. Interesting. Yeah. So, anyways,
like a fucking idiot.
what did I do? Oh, you're looking at Johnny.
Johnny.
Yeah,
Johnny was
does
a
look
goddamn moron.
Unprompted calls you a fucking idiot.
It's happened before.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah. Yeah. So the first Jonathan is like super cool, like Victorian era, like I'm a cool guy, like epic Chad. Who cares? Nobody cares. Anyways, I'm excited for this line. I might get a few of these honestly, because I have a lot of nostalgia. It was that high school nostalgia. I was really into. Never finished part 3 because part 3 is boring as fuck. Part 3 is really. It's like 50 episodes of like
That's
monster.
everyone's favorite.
Oh, it's so boring, Ty. It's so boring.
But he's everyone's favorite.
Yeah, because people. Because
he's got aura.
Yeah, he does. He's just a meathead who punches people and screams.
He's got aura.
He's like, he does. Anyways, also the figures seem to be very manga art styled, not anime art styled, which is interesting. That's all I want to say. We can move on. Sorry for yapping. I apologize.
Okay, you can yap.
Shut up.
It's okay, buddy. You can shut the fuck up.
Stop fucking talking.
Shut your bitch ass up. God. Wah, wah, wah.
I got trolled so hard.
Grilling him.
What else happened
also is at Star Wars Celebration, and they're showing off figures. They showed off General Grievous. Oh my god! And then also sweaty Luke Skywalker and Mace Windu, and also a little orphan boy. Holy shnikes!
Hold on a second. Hold the phone. Hold the fucking phone, guys. What in the ever-loving fuck? Why is Luke coked out of his fucking mind?
Because he just saw his dad's head. He saw his head in his dad.
Because he just licked a frog and he's high.
He's fucking seen through death and come back. Like
he literally in that scene, he fucking sees his head in his dad's scary decapitated helmet.
Sweaty. He looks like he just snorted heroin and had a fucking fever dream and is now sweaty as all hell.
People lick toads. People lick toads to get high. Yoda was like, "Lick my hand, you must." And then he's fucking tripping balls.
Yoda put meth in his cereal. He's freaking out. That's why he's hallucinating in this scene, because he's fucking high on bath salts. General Grievous looks cool.
He does. Leia is actually probably gonna get this figure, which is crazy.
Oh shit!
Yeah, Leia's first import figure. I guess not counting Yellow Park.
Right. Baby Anakin looks fucking stupid.
He's got a dumbass bowl cut.
I mean, that's accurate, to be fair.
That's fair.
I don't know why people want figures of this dumbass kid. Like that. Yeah. I don't know why there's such a high demand for figures of this little twink. He's like the biggest loser.
Because this is peak Star Wars now.
On the twink.
Yeah, what?
And
Windu looks weird. Is peak Star Wars now. Everyone that grew up on the prequels loves it now. It's main Star Wars. It's peak Star Wars as far as the internet's concerned.
Yeah, Windu looks like he's like, stop. Don't come near me. Don't touch me.
he's doing the Man of Steel dad thing. So no.
The Pa Kent's classic me sacrifice.
Allow me to be destroyed by Palpatine.
That was supposed to be me. I was supposed to be Pa Kent.
He's reaching his hand out. He's like, Anakin, cut it off. I know you're gonna. Just do it. It's ready.
Do it, bitch.
You won't. No balls.
Motherfucker.
Oh, weird. Alright. Thanks, Figure Arts.
Yeah, it's figures and stuff.
We'll see how many of these actually come out.
Yeah. Also, there were Black Series figures because Star Wars Celebration is happening right now. So there's going to be a bunch of Star Wars news.
I was totally caught off guard by the Star Wars Celebration shit. I'm so out of the loop. I was like, huh? What is happening?
I thought it happened like 2 weeks ago. I didn't even realize.
No, I thought it was happening.
Nothing to show.
I thought it was in like a month or something. I didn't know it was anytime soon.
So for Black Series, they had a panel last night. It happened pretty late for us because they're in Japan. They're on the other side of the planet.
Yeah.
So they showed off a bunch of bullshit.
Lay was there. I think.
Yeah, Lay was there, and he was like, "Oh,
was on the ground
Turgle,
floor.
fucking Turgle from Jedi Fallen fucking Survivor. Oh my god,
I don't know who that is.
that's the
You can't-
frog,
oh.
my guy. It's the frog."
Dude,
Okay.
this absolute fucking stance.
So I
Jesus.
opened up. You can
Also,
imagine.
why is there a little man under his dick? He's like breaking his
He's
That's
praying for it.
that's the crabby fisherman. He's
Okay.
He tells you lore stories.
So you have to understand from my
And war
perspective.
stories.
I went to Instagram. I saw this on my fucking front page, and I was like, "What the fuck am I looking at?" And I was like, "Who's this asshole? Why is there a little goblin reaching for his nutsack? Why does Cal Kestis have like a trucker haircut?" Like,
We get the fucking hillbilly mullet porno stash. Cal
that's probably the best
Kestis.
thing they've ever done for Cal Kestis.
Oh man, it's fucking great.
And then, but the worst thing about this is the frog's got no articulation.
Yeah, he's got no elbows. He's got no knees. He can.
He looks
He
awful.
can.
I really don't like the frogman has really humanoid tiny hands. Like tiny super humanoid
Are,
hands.
like baby
Uh-huh.
little hand. Yeah, but also it's just genius. Like the little guy reaching up for his
Genius.
nuts is perfect. Like it's so good. Also the droid's there, but no one gives a shit about that.
Yeah, nobody fucking cares.
So I was gonna buy this if it's not like $84 fucking dollars, and also that guy doesn't move worth a damn, so it's not
I
worth
mean,
it.
just fucking having a hillbilly Jedi on your shelf is kind of peak. And he has, this figure is reused, so it has thigh swivels.
Oh, yeah.
Blessed be the Lord.
They certainly try to pretend it's not there. They're like, "Oh, guys, don't worry. It's not
Yeah,
possible."
don't look at his upper thighs,
That's
please.
why the frog doesn't have any articulation, because they're, "Oh shit, he's got thigh swivels. Let's take away all the
Take
articulation."
away all of his articulation.
They're like, "We need to salvage this somehow." This is how it
There's
fucking
too many.
works.
There's too many pieces in this set.
Not how this fucking works, you assholes.
Yeah. There was more though. We got fucking
We got
Russell.
what's his name?
Sean Denorian.
Dash Rendar.
Sean and
Sean DeLorean.
It's Kurt Russell as a young man.
Yeah, it does look just like a 1980s Kurt Russell. It's crazy.
He's got like a male stripper outfit on though.
He
I don't really know what
does.
that's-
Yeah, he's got he looks like he should be riding a horse or something.
Yeah.
He's got like extra padding up in his gooch.
Very, very odd. Very odd design.
extra padding up in his.
The way you
got a-
started laughing looked like you were just about to vomit. It was like,
It's so good. Fetch laughs like
Hard.
Fetch always laughs like it's so good bad.
oh man. And then we got Marin from Jedi Survivor, and she looks really good, except for the fact that she has no fucking thigh swivels. Fuck you, Hasbro. Fuck you.
Is she canonically in love with what's his name, Cal Kestis?
Yeah,
Is
they
that like
make out.
Oh shit.
Yeah, they make out.
She
They do it-
shoots
I think
that
they do it
green
twice.
fucking explosion up Cal's butthole.
That's how they
And he goes-
bond through the
He
force.
goes, "Oh!" I've never played these games. I have no fucking context for any of this shit.
And then we get a brand new Han Solo and
yeah.
Chewbacca. Oh my
Wow.
god.
by brand
couldn't
new?
tell.
You mean the same fucking shit. we've
No,
been
no, no.
getting?
They're all 100% new. They don't have
What?
any thigh swivels.
Chewie,
That's,
I have
that's
the
how
old
you
Chewie.
can tell they're brand new.
Is
I-
that Chewie new?
I
Yeah, it's all
have
new.
the Chewie.
100%.
I have the old Chewie, and I cannot tell the difference.
Aside getting-
It's literally 100% different.
I cannot wait to hear Robo talk about it because he's just gonna be like, "This is all different."
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, "I didn't know this" because he looks exactly.
Robo's the fucking Chewie expert.
Yeah, he's dismantled like 500 of them.
Yeah.
His color is ugly as hell. I don't know what's happening there. I don't know why he's like. I get that
He needs
there's
a
like
wash.
a gray. Yeah, well, he's dark. He looks like he's actually like, covered in.
He has a gradient like that.
It's like
I know.
insane. This is like the fucking 18th fucking Harrison Ford likeness they've done, and it still looks wonky. Like,
Yeah.
how many times does it take? Like,
he kind of
he looks weird.
He kind of looks like Kurt Russell.
He does. His eyes are like too small and too close together. Like, how many fucking times do you need to make Harrison Ford? God damn. Jesus.
That's just better off getting a third party one at this point.
Kurt Russell fans are winning though. Absolutely.
They are winning. It genuinely looks like Kurt Russell from Tron. Like, that's what it looks
does,
like.
Right?
It looks like Kurt Russell from Tron.
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah, it's strange. But
how many of these are you getting? Any of them?
None. Not a single. I mean, maybe Marin, because I think Black Series figures run small, so the only figure I could see being able to swap her legs for would be America Chavez. So I might try that. Otherwise, I don't want any of these.
Dude, I just can't. God, they suck so much. They're so
I know. They do. They really do. God. What a fucking joke. Also, I hate that Cal Kestis figure, so reusing it for a fucking hillbilly redneck is not going to make me like it.
Well, I had at least one from the last pack they did where he has a little robot and he's got
I like that one.
Yeah, I've got
I sold it.
Buzz sold it.
Buzz sold it. At least I didn't dismantle it violently.
I'm about to dismantle Braden.
Oh hell yeah!
You say Gooch,
get all up in that gooch.
Get all up in there.
Then there was some more Celebration news. We are getting a new animated series starring Darth Maul. It's called Maul Shadow Lord. That's pretty cool.
That's like that is something
starring Sam Witwer. It's fucking awesome.
Sounds like a video game would have done of Darth Maul in 2005.
Oh, you mean like the one that they were going to do and then canceled?
Yeah, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So that's, I mean, a new animated show. It'll be way cooler than Bad Batch because it's starring the best character in Star Wars.
Yeah.
So that'll be.
You're doing another animated show too, right?
With also, they're doing another short Tales of, which is Tales of the Underworld or whatever.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that comes out next month, though.
I'm excited because they've, first of all, Sam Witwer Darth Maul is awesome, right?
Yes.
He's great. And then also, Darth Maul, they did a bunch of weird fucking lore with him that they never addressed again with, the Han Solo and all that. And so the fact that they're going to... This feels like them being like, all right, we're finally going to figure that shit out and explain what the fuck was happening, so...
Yeah. If this gets more than one season, which I hope it does, we might see, him lead up to Solo and then fall down to where he is in Rebels.
Yeah. That would be cool. Also, he says he's training a Padawan. That's definitely the girl from Han Solo, right?
No,
right?
It's actually there's a trailer that they showed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they didn't come out. They didn't release it, but in the trailer, the Padawan is a Twi'lek, a pink Twi'lek girl.
Oh. Is she red?
No, she's pink.
So why is everyone training Twi'lek Padawans? Is that weird?
Because they're hot.
Okay.
It's
like children.
True.
They're not all children.
Yeah. What are you
They're
talking
supposed
about?
to be. They fucking call them too old. They're too old to learn. They need them young or whatever.
Darth Maul is not a motherfucking Jedi. He doesn't care.
Right. He doesn't give a fuck.
Well, it seems like they're kind of maybe adapting that red woman, right? The evil red woman.
And it's probably like a loose adaptation, like an homage. Yeah.
I hope not directly because that lady's only function in the Star Wars fandom is goon fodder. So I don't know.
Yeah.
even she was going to be put in George Lucas's episode 7. I don't know how the fuck I remember that. She's supposed to be in it, and she was still going to be goon fodder in that.
She was from Old Republic shit or whatever, and George Lucas saw a statue of her and the statue of Darth Maul and put them together. He's like, they're friends.
And he gooned.
I love he did. He gooned in his pants a little bit.
They make babies together. I love them.
But it'll probably be an homage to that character, and then you would think that she would die because she's not in anything, but she probably won't because nobody dies.
Yep.
And then
Not in fucking Star Wars.
They used to.
And then we got a crazy announcement for a new movie coming in 2027 called Star Wars Starfighter, starring Ryan Gosling, which is crazy. The rumors were true.
Directed by
Sean
Sean
Levy.
Deadpool, Wolverine, and Night at the
Deadpool
Museum.
fame, yeah.
The Night at the Museum.
He did. He did.
Was it just the first one?
I think he did all of them.
Oh, okay. Great.
I didn't know
right.
that. You could have just said he also helped with Stranger Things a lot, and I think everyone would.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a pilot movie. People are thinking it's probably gonna be like Top Gun and Star Wars sort of vibe.
Drive, but in Star Wars.
So it's gonna be cool.
It's gonna be interesting because it can't.
Is it 5
just gonna
years
be
after
like?
Episode 9?
Is it just gonna be like the like what Rogue Squadron? Surely it's not like that.
Rogue
It's gotta
Squadron is dead. Actually, that movie's not happening.
Okay.
So I think probably whatever they were working on for that movie got transferred over to this one.
Okay. I would kind of like it though if he's not an X-wing starfighter, but he's like his own thing. I don't know. It'd be interesting.
If he's like a Han Solo type or something.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
That'd be cool. It just fits his Gosling's vibe.
Yes, for sure.
Or maybe he's like, ex Republican or ex Rebellion, and he's like, they got to bring him back in.
He's gonna. I mean, Ryan Gosling looks very handsome, but he's like old. He's like 40s, 50s age. You know what I mean? He's not a young buck. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Who knows?
It'll be cool. I don't like the name very much, to be honest with you. I don't know. I'm not a fan of it.
I think they might drop the Star Wars from the title.
I think so.
Or like, because they do Star Wars and then they have the Star Wars fade away, like black out, and then they put Starfighter up. So I wonder if they're going to change it to just be like Starfighter, or change it to like Starfighter, a Star Wars story or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
They also reiterated that they're doing a new trilogy. They confirmed that. I think they talked about a few other things that are going to be set after Episode 9.
They talked about they're working on. They still have plans for a trilogy with, I forget who the director was supposed to be.
James Mangold.
And then they also confirmed that they still have. No, sorry.
James Mangold is not doing the trilogy. He's doing his own movie.
Let me find the fucking tweet.
Someone else is doing a trilogy. I don't remember.
James Mangold is, because the trilogy is set after Episode 9.
Yes.
It's like a trilogy of that. James Mangold
to be in the works from Simon Kinberg, and then also independently they're still pursuing into other films with James Mangold, Sharmeen Obaid, I don't know, and then Taika Waititi.
Yeah.
So
am I delayed?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, good. So what's interesting, my takeaway with this was, sorry, my screen was all glitched up. So I just wanted to double. Because he's talking about anime in 2 seconds, so he's freaking out.
He's bored.
So my biggest takeaway from this news is that they figured out what they're doing with the Star Wars timeline post Episode 9. That's my biggest takeaway. Like that they finally figured out, and they're about to. Like, we've spent a lot of time going into the era after Episode 6, before Episode 7. It sounds like they figured out the next era, and now we're really going to go for it. Because there's a couple different projects in the works set in that timeline. So
it's starting to feel like they really took they got kicked in the nards when everyone hated Episode 9. And so now they're finally getting their stride back a little bit.
It's also interesting because we're getting Mandalorian and Grogu next year, and then we're going to get Starfighter right after that.
The following year, yeah. That's interesting. I wonder if it will be like we're going back to a Star Wars movie every year with all these movies that they're planning.
Well, I was going to say, I think Solo also took that out of their wings too, because they're like, oh, these individual movies don't do very well. but I think they saw that Mando is like was a huge Star Wars,
But Starfighter
revival.
is supposed to be a totally like standalone film, and I imagine these other movies with these other directors will be standalone as well. So maybe Solo didn't dissuade them as much as we thought.
Well,
maybe it was more like maybe the Solo thing was more like we're not going to tell spin-offs that are specifically about like a character.
Yeah,
like,
we're not going to branch off the main series so much as just tell condensed, solitary.
I think doing these like movies that are set on like with original characters is totally a cool idea. I'm down for that. Mando kind of veered away from that. Now we've got a bunch of old characters from old stuff all the time,
old shows and stuff.
which because they I guess
they
they
got the Filoni verse.
Yeah, they got to continue all that because these are characters that these people were probably very passionate about.
There is an Ahsoka season 2 panel today, so we'll probably hear about that coming out next year or something.
Didn't know there was a season 2.
Yeah, but there's going to be more news over the weekend because I think it runs all weekend, so we should find out. But there was a leaked Mandalorian and Grogu trailer. It's kind of fucking hype because it looks really good. They got that big budget, got big sets. They got Sigourney Weaver. Pretty exciting.
For some reason.
It makes sense, She's a sci-fi legend. So
yeah. It's actually interesting.
Hopefully they use her better than the MCU did.
Please, for the love of God.
Oh shit! I forgot she was in. Yeah. Okay.
I don't even remember who she played.
She played the hand mom.
Oh yeah, in fucking
the worst
Defenders.
character.
What the fuck? That's
she. As this
hand mom.
Hand mom. Trailer's interesting.
Good
They've
description.
got,
we
cool
we
trailer.
open on a fucking awesome ass one like Daredevil hallway one take, but it's the inside of an AT-AT. So you go from the cockpit all the way to the ass end and then back as Mando fucking murders all these snowtroopers. You get to see, like, before he busts in, you get to see these snowtroopers like gearing up, like a day in the life. It's very interesting. I love it a lot.
That's cool.
It's so good. I like it a lot.
You see their like stuff. You see their like faces.
Yeah, you see how their helmets work. I think for the first time, where like they put on their like balaclava and then their helmet.
Yep.
Interesting.
It's actually really sick. This trailer's really cool.
So
There's a lot of really cool visual stuff in this trailer. Like, we see the shot of Mando riding around on the little walker again to get to the ATs, which is like, that's fun.
Yeah.
A lot more shit with
is
Grogu.
like his New Republic like broker, like gives him his informant. Yeah, he gives him his missions. You get a shot of him with Zeb, which is cool.
Yep. Zeb walks around.
I don't think we get any shots of the new Razor Crest yet.
No, we
as I
did.
recall. Did we?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yep. It just looks like the old one, as far as I can tell. I was like, oh, the Razor Crest back. Like, I forgot that it was coming back, and I was like, oh, that's kind of.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
was
kind of nice.
Shitty footage, and it was a lot to take.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched.
This feels very back to basics, Mando. Like,
Yes.
yeah, let's just have Mando doing some cool shit in the Star Wars universe. It's a fun adventure he's gonna go on, which I like. I think that's
Just the fun shit with Grogu. He like gets. They clearly had a lot of fun with him like flipping around and like, swimming. Like he's a lot more like energetic than he normally is.
Yeah, he does. He does a lot more.
Yes, he's moving around a lot, which is cool.
Yeah, so which is exciting.
Because it feels like in the show he's always just kind of standing there, and then occasionally he'll be like do a flip or something, and then he'll just like walk around. That's usually what he does. But in this, he's like swimming, he's like jumping around, he's doing some crazy Yoda shit in this one.
He murks a mouse droid. He just makes it blow up.
Yeah, he like flattens it. He goes like,
and
it goes,
which is great.
It's funny.
It's a lot of fun. And then there's like a wheel from the mouse droid that rolls past him, and he steps by, and he's like,
cool. It looks fun. Apparently, this is like the cheapest Star Wars movie. I don't know if that's true, but I've heard that.
Heard
the budget is really low.
It looks fucking fantastic.
they're doing a lot of practical effects in it. You know that.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Just cool. It looks good. If it's good, I hope it's I hope it's good. You know,
Let's get
it's better than Man
let's
of
get
Steel
Mando
2.
to rip somebody's jaw open or something.
Yeah, let's get Jack. Let's get Jack Black back, and let's have that happen to him.
That's so mean.
No, not Jack.
Yeah, what the hell?
But everyone hates him. in that
No,
movie.
everybody loves him. What are you talking about?
In that episode, I don't think anyone
well,
liked that.
I mean, nobody liked that episode, but everybody loves Jack Black.
Everyone forgets that episode has him, Lizzo, and Doc Brown in it.
It's so strange.
Of all people.
Yeah. And
Very
Doc
odd.
Brown's the villain. Anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much all the Celebration news so far. Should be some more exciting developments this weekend, but we'll have to talk about that next week.
Oh, did we talk about Rada?
Oh yes,
yeah.
There's a little tease, little thing at the end of the trailer where Mando and Grogu are in like the audience of a coliseum, and Rada's like, yeah, and he's fucking swole.
He's jacked.
He's
I can't believe we almost
ripped.
forgot to talk about Rada. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's gonna be just like the fucking Hut in the comics with the fucking abs all down the front. He's gonna be exactly like that. It's fucking ridiculous.
It's
So strange.
Now my question is is Rada gonna go
Yeah.
or is he gonna go, I'm Rada? Yeah,
think-
like what's
You could go either way with it.
They could do either. They could do both.
It could do both.
I
It's true.
wonder if he's gonna be like, because Huts are lazy bastards, so this is gonna be the first time we ever really get to see one that's like moving around and shit.
Yeah, on screen.
Yeah.
And
What
he's
the hell,
he's
Ty?
like in an arena.
Look at this.
Yep.
Your photos are literally shit, my guy.
No shit photos.
No,
Just
mine
reload the app.
Mine
man.
are shit. I can see them. Your
Oh,
phone
I
is
know.
shit.
Yeah.
I don't know
Your
what that's all
internet's
about.
shit, brother.
Nah, that's weird.
No, shitting out your ass. More like
Yeah, bro.
I just want to point
Spewing
it out.
shit. Anyway, Fantastic Four got a trailer.
Speaking of spewing shit,
Fantastic Four.
what a fucking shit show of a trailer. No, just kidding.
What is it? Are
We
you
already-
you curving the bullet, brother?
He's doing a cool like.
curving it right into
He's
Braden's
doing
wiener.
like your fingers.
He's
He's like bending backwards.
Fuck you. Yeah, Thatcher's obviously gonna want to say the most about this. So why don't you go?
Oh, you go first. No, you go first. You go first, and then I'll go. It makes more sense that way. It makes more sense because I'm going to say so damn much that you go
Silver Surfer has hair. It sucks. I don't like it.
Silver Surfer has boobs.
first.
She got titties.
You guys fucking suck.
I'm just stating. We're just stating the obvious, are we
Stating
not?
the facts. We're just addressing the chrome orbs in the room.
I've already talked about this, but I will say I didn't. This trailer came literally out of nowhere. I was browsing on Instagram and it popped up, and I thought it was like a 30-second ad or something, and I just kept watching it. I was like, "Oh, this is a whole ass trailer." They show off fucking Silver Surfer, and I'm like, "Oh my god." And I never switched to the trailer on YouTube. I just proceeded to watch it vertically on my phone,
Shitty
like
vertical version.
so, like you see
Wow.
like half of Galactus's foot, and it's like obviously because it's cropped horribly. So I have since watched the trailer again on the full
You
screen.
absolute
Um,
goober.
It just didn't. It never clicked in, and even when it did, I didn't. I didn't decide
Lock
to
in,
make this.
brother.
I was already like halfway through the
Maybe-
trailer. I was like,
Has never locked in his life. Okay,
I can't.
Unless it's
Unless-
looking at Sue Storm's ass.
And then he
It's
gets
like-
a cool
it's-
Daredevil shot where it goes.
I go,
Yeah.
I go, yeah.
The
true.
whole rest of the world just blurs out. It's just, oh my
Uh-huh.
god.
Yeah. Look.
Oh
Man,
man.
I got my priorities.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I love this. I think this is a fantastic trailer. I think this was the perfect time to put it out. I think oh yeah. They put
it
the
out
Fan-Force thing.
on fucking Superman Day.
Oh
The
yeah.
disrespect.
I think Marvel is picking up on the fact that they're like, okay, we're gonna have some competition. So when does Superman come out relative to
Like 2
Fantastic
weeks
Four?
before.
Same month.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Well, I know it's the same month. I just meant like within the
2
time
weeks
frame.
before.
It's like 2 weeks
2 weeks.
before.
Okay. So
And
that's
James,
definitely gonna.
James has already said you're not getting a trailer for a while.
That's weird.
It's like,
No, but then
thanks,
he
James.
releases 700 fucking stills, which
I
is
don't-
essentially a trailer.
Yeah.
For you.
I don't
Behind the scenes
understand.
TV spot.
James,
Like, come on.
Jimothy, I love you. I love you, Jimothy. You've done some great work in the
You're
past.
setting up your movie for failure, brother.
Yeah,
he
you're
does not know how to market this Superman movie
No.
at all.
He has no idea.
No.
I understand if he wants to save things and have it be special, but at the same time, you need to market this shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, Fantastic Four knows what they're doing. They're marketing their movie. We're probably gonna see some figures pretty damn soon. It would not surprise me if we get to see those legends.
I think after Celebration, probably.
Yeah, makes sense. The trailer was fantastic. I
So
keep
good.
saying that. God damn it.
Say that again.
Put the fucking Fan 4 stick clip of him saying it's fantastic in, please.
Fantastic.
It's fantastic.
It's fantastic.
Say that again.
It's fantastic.
Say that again.
It's fantastic.
Yes, it is. Say that again.
It's fantastic.
Yes, it is.
Say that again.
Say that again.
So good. So good.
So good. I was like,
So good.
there's some so good. There's some shots of the Thing with his hat on and in different outfits, and I'm like, okay, all right, he looks really goddamn good. Oh yeah. No, it's specifically the shot where he's like turning to the side and he has like a ball cap on. That's like my favorite shot, because it I don't know. He looks really good. He looks really good, man.
He looks so funny when he's in his white button up and he's like, oh.
Yeah, he's like, what's going on? What the hell?
Who's approaching me?
The revelation that we already kind of knew about them, but them straight up
Yeah.
confirming that Sue's
They're
pregnant. And Johnny
Now
and
they got it out of the way. Now they just were like, here you go.
Yeah.
Johnny and Ben's reaction was very wholesome. Johnny gets
Yeah.
some great moments in this trailer because he didn't really get a lot of great moments in the first trailer. So now here you go.
Get some time to shine.
Yep, he gets a little taste of his personality, and it's looking pretty fun.
He's like, you're
Man,
gonna be a great dad, Reed. Just kidding, you fucking suck.
Yeah, he hates Reed. So you suck ass. But
You're a weird
so
octopus
happy.
man.
Oh yeah, yeah. Pedro Pascal talked about
Octopus demeanor.
Pedro Pascal's studying octopuses. Apparently, of Reed Richards. It's like, I have to understand how they work.
I think he just. I think he's a weird guy. I think he just means
He's a very
like
strange guy.
they're like very like aloof, sort of like hard to understand sort of vibe.
I think so.
He's going for.
But he's talking about their psychology, and I'm like,
Yeah, like
bro,
what?
maybe put down the blunt. Maybe put down the blunt.
This is some shit. Let's be honest. This is some
Octopuses are predators, my guy. Are you saying that
Let's be
Reed
hon-
Richards is a predator?
Let's be real. This is giving some real fucking the deep vibes. This is some shit that he tweeted.
He's not fucking the octopus, all right? Jesus.
No, but that's some shit that
He's
he's
just
saying.
embodying the octopus.
He's the octopus doing the fucking. That's what he is.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Obviously, again, we get to see Silver Surfer, and people are a little mixed on how she looks.
We get shirtless Thing.
Yep,
Yeah, we do.
confirmed.
He's
Shirtless
pulling a
Thing.
fucking boat.
Yeah.
A ship.
A whole ass ship with a chain.
Yeah. Sick.
With a damn chain. It's pretty sick. It's a great visual.
Yeah.
Guys,
We get
you
to
wanna
see
talk
a little bit of Reed's. Oh god, he's possessed. We get to see a little bit of Reed's stretchy powers. Looks great.
Yes. Yep. Well, that was the first time we ever saw them, and they look good. They look natural. They don't look natural. You know what I mean? But they look like
They
don't
look just like when I stretch, man.
They don't look like a cartoon. It doesn't look like a stupid, like, goofy, like, it actually, like, his body moves in a way that, like, I don't know how to explain this. His body moves in a way that, like, a human body would move if it could do that. Does that make sense?
No, it
No?
doesn't.
Alright.
Because bro's
Okay.
literally stretching like a cartoon.
No, he's... I don't know.
I talked to Brayden about it too, but can I? Are you guys okay if I
Go off.
if I
Just go
into
off.
the
Go off.
night?
Go off.
Okay. So what you guys just saw was one of the most direct adaptations in terms of essence, visuals, vibe, character depictions, and stories that from a comic book I have ever seen. What they just put to screen in that trailer is the Fantastic Four. That's like if they made a Fantastic Four movie in like 2001 and they got like a Sam Raimi type adaptation where they were just like, we're gonna make the definitive Fantastic Four movie. That's what this is. It is just like, we're doing a classic Fantastic everything. The cars look like the city is all like classical. It's a retro future city, but that's kind of the whole essence of old Fantastic Four. The costumes are like some of the best in the MCU as of late, in my humble opinion, because they're not just like they're not the Multiverse of Madness costume, which I fucking hate. You know, they're like they have their own essence, their own vibe. They're simple. They're not over designed. You know what I mean? Like it's like when they first showed the first Ant-Man costume and it had like its own vibe, you know, and they MCU-fied the shit out of them later on. But I hope that they keep like the simplicity of these, you know. I just really like the way they look. I know they're probably gonna MC the shit out of them in Doomsday, but God, I really like them.
They will.
All the characters are absolutely on point. I think that not everyone was sold on Pedro as Reed, but I'm really sold on him now. From this trailer, he's really good. He's got all the classic Reed self-loathing, you know, such shit going on. Sue's great. Johnny's excellent. It's all very on point. The way that they're approaching, like the way the world sees them, is on point. We don't really get to see that in superhero movies as much anymore, you know. And the looming sense of dread from the Galactus like coming to take over the city like is palpable, and Galactus is walking. Everyone's like, why is Galactus so small? And yeah, he can change his size, right? But also, would you rather a fight scene in a city where they can actually interact with Galactus and he can interact with the city and it's actually a physical confrontation? Or would you rather he's as big as a planet and they're just poking him or shooting lasers at him? You tell me which would be a more interesting fight scene, right? No, they even do this in the comics. In the comics, when they fight him, those old comics, he's in the city. Because that's so much more interesting to watch. You know, if it was like Eternals where he just floats in there, there's no fight there. There's no action sequence. You know what I mean? Like, people are just stupid. But anyway, like, it's like they just like the concept of a big man, but not the actual like scenes you're gonna get out of that. You know? And again, he can change his size, like no shit, right? And Silver Surfer. Let's talk about the Chrome woman, the Chrome babe in the room, right? So I was most excited to see Silver Surfer because Silver Surfer is a top 5 Marvel character for me. I've always loved Silver Surfer, right? I'm a huge Silver Surfer fan. I had made my peace with Silver Surfer being Shala Bal or a woman. I'd made my peace with that, right?
I think what, as the internet would say.
Yeah, right. I think that's fine. What I'm interested in, I was talking to Brain about this, is, you know, you mentioned the hair, and I think that speaks to a greater decision on Silver Surfer's design that I'm very curious about. Because when they said they were going to do a female Silver Surfer, what I imagined, because of how he's sort of approached in the comic books, is I imagined a more androgynous leaning Silver Surfer, you know, like more of a Star Child androgynous sort of like higher being, like cosmic being. That's kind of what I imagined, like in terms of personality and presentation, you know? And that would make sense because Silver Surfer's like manhood is not like it's not relevant to his character at all. He's very much like an elevated being that perceives the world in a lonely status. That's why he's such an interesting character, right? He's like a lost cosmic soul, you know? He's not like manly or anything. He's not, you know what I mean? He's like elevated above that, right? He's always kind of like, if he was made nowadays, I could have totally seen him being like an androgynous character. It was the 60s and shit, like they weren't gonna do that. But so I was like, oh,
Stan didn't know what that meant.
He didn't know. So like what I imagined was, oh, then they're gonna make it a woman. They're gonna she's gonna be bald and look like a Silver Surfer, but just a slight bit more feminine, and they're gonna kind of lean into this like higher androgynous being. And I was like, that would make sense, like, because that would kind of, even if she's bald, then she looks more like classic Silver Surfer. You know what I mean? The actress can play that. Like the actress just sort of has that personality, that demeanor to her, you know? So I'm a little surprised that they really are leaning on femininity for her. Like, that's so weird. I was not expecting them to make her so feminine. And the hair, the long hair, is a very feminine, like, coded thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's clearly them being like, it's a woman. She's going to have her long woman hair. And she's going to have fucking black eyeliner and even a little bit of black lipstick, which is such a weird decision. I think the black eyeliner is supposed to match the, like, Jack Kirby sort of, you know, it's meant to kind of look like this, right? That's kind of what they're going for. And even he has black. Yeah. But on the woman, it looks like makeup, right? Like, that's the vibe that gives, you know? Because our brains are fucking machined into thinking gender as a binary, and there's the gender... whatever, I'm not going to get too woke on y'all. But anyway, so I'm surprised. But I think that was an intentional...
They made her hot. You can't deny they made her hot.
Right. They made her hot. They gave her long hair. She's very feminine, right? Even the way she talks is like she's not talking like she's like I don't know. It's interesting. So here's my thought, right? And I would have gone androgynous. I would have made her bald, and I would have made her a little bit more of like that kind of vibe. That would have been my approach, right? But I'm curious why they didn't do that. And so my thinking is, and I'm reading really far into this, right? But like narratively, why would you make Silver Surfer very feminine, right? If we look at the whole cast of characters, like we know Reed's story and we know Sue's story, and Thing's story seems to be classic Thing, right? Like that sort of like balance of like, you know, he's lonely because he doesn't look like himself. He's longing, but he's also like an icon for children. He's able to connect with like they're classic Jack Kirby Thing stuff, right? Like we know his deal. But the one character that we haven't quite known what their like struggle is or their emotional arc is Johnny. We don't know what his deal is yet. So, and the actor spoke about Johnny in an interview. He said, you know, I'm going with this. He spoke about this in an interview. He said that they're not making Johnny a womanizer and that he's more emotionally resonant and able to listen to people's like emotional struggles more, and that's going to be part of his character. He like said that, right? So Silver Surfer, if you look at the old movie, has this the old, you know, Fantastic Four movie, the 2000 whatever one. He has this arc with Sue Storm where Sue Storm is the one to convince him to turn on Galactus, right? And it's like this. He's like, you remind me of my wife thing. I'm curious because we've also seen the two characters paired up so much, and if you see Johnny's like falling and like mesmerized or whatever, you know what I mean? I wonder if it's Johnny and the Surfer are gonna have some sort of like emotion, like romantic thing, and Johnny's gonna be the one to convince Silver Surfer to turn to the good side and help them. That's like my weird Big Bang. I'm reading into the fact that she has hair way too much fan theory. Like, I wonder if that's the because Johnny likes women, right? Like, you know. So I wonder if that's the angle. They're like, oh, we want to tell this story. You know, I don't know.
You heard it here first. Johnny's gonna fuck the Silver Surfer.
It's that photo of Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh man,
I don't know. I'm probably reading way too much into it. It's probably not gonna happen. But I was just led me down like if you're making a decision, why are you making her so feminine? And I'm like maybe because there's something with Johnny, but I'm probably wrong. But also they're chasing each other and shit, and they're in the sky and like I don't know.
I could see them still tying it to Sue and have it be like because Sue's pregnant, so have it be like maybe Shellaball had a child that was eaten by Galactus.
That's
could
true.
Be a
like a mother.
connection.
Yes, yeah, that could be. That would be very okay. That'd be there as well. I would be okay with either. But
or both.
Yeah. But that's just my weird little thing. But I will say, in terms of the design, I'm a little iffy on it. I don't really mind the hair, but I agree. I would have preferred bald, like I said. I think
the hair looks so much like original X-Men, like Mystique's hair, and I've always hated her hairstyle.
So like
it's like greasy, slicked back, like ugh.
Or like a shorter haircut, maybe like a bob or something. I don't fucking know.
Or like, you know, the fucking crazy cosmic fire that Braden and I were talking about.
Yeah, dude. That would have been, like a cosmic stream. That would have been fucking awesome.
That would have looked sick.
Yes. But I will say, the stuff they have, the few shots of the Surfer that they have are really fucking cool. Like, genuine, rising out of the fire. Rising out of the fire and then zipping around, and if you look at her in low res, she looks kind of bad. But I've seen photos of her higher resolution, and you can actually see like her eyes are not just fully white. There's actually like pupils in there,
and pupils.
You know, and you can actually see the likeness to the actress a little bit better. There,
I watched it on my TV, so I got a nice good look, and yeah, she looks great.
Yes, like that. Like I just sent that photo.
When Johnny's holding onto the board, it's like it's malleable. It's like a liquid.
Yep,
and he slips
like a liquid.
Of it.
Also, board looks exactly like the comics with the lines coming down the middle, so that's really cool. I want to see her cosmic powers, though. I want her to have some fucking bubbly cosmic Jack Kirby shit. That'd be super cool.
That'd be amazing.
Cosmic.
You know Aiden's gooning in his seat when he sees that.
I know. I'm gooning in my seat, bro. So I'm very...
You're talking to the two biggest Fantastic Four fans, man. You know.
But overall, like, all the pieces are... Also, you know what I love about that? I told Braden... This is a straight-up adaptation of the Galactus storyline where it's really scary that Galactus is coming and he is Galactus. I'm so happy it's not like a weird meta narrative. It's it's hard to explain, but I'm always annoyed when they're like, we're gonna do a Flash movie, but rather than just doing a straightforward Flash movie, we're gonna do like a weird meta narrative about like the multiverse. Or rather than doing a Miles Morales movie, we're gonna do a weird meta narrative about the fucking nature of Spider-Man storytelling. Like I could have seen them doing like, we're doing the 4th iteration Fantastic Four. We've already told the Galactus story. Let's do a weird meta narrative where we like don't just treat it like a straight up adaptation where like that's the main story. I could have seen that, and I'm so glad they didn't do that. Like, because it's a great story arc. It's so pivotal to comics, that original Galactus storyline, and they've even got the fire in the sky, which is in the comics. Like, it's very much like we're adapting the Galactus storyline. So super happy.
I have a theory already.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
So there's a couple shots that got the gears turning. There's one where you see the Fantastic Four in new astronaut suits, and they're like, "Are we safe?" And he's like, "I don't know." So I think they're going back up into space, and they're going to go to Galactus' ship. There's also a shot of Shalabal, where in the background it's like she's in a clearly very big open area. It looks very machine, like techie, like the innards of a ship. So I think we're getting them going to the ship, and I think she's probably gonna have a showdown with Johnny, where Johnny's gonna try to get the ultimate nullifier.
Oh, there you go. That'd be cool.
Yeah. So then that might be where Johnny gets to convince her to turn.
Yes, that'd be super cool. I would love that. So the other thing I've noticed people talking about is I want to state my opinion on this, is as someone who just wants a good Fantastic Four movie, there's a shot of a ship, of a cool retro space fucking astronaut-ass ship flying towards a seemingly Earth-like planet, and the planet's being destroyed. It's like all broken and like dying. And there's been a really common theory that the idea is that they're not going to save the Earth, and that this Earth's going to get destroyed, and then that's how they get merged in the MCU. And I just I want to state my opinion on that. Okay, if you do that, that would make for a really compelling Doomsday cliffhanger setup, right? Mm-hmm. It would make for a very depressing, lame Fantastic Four movie. You would never be able to watch it without having to go, oh yeah, this ending is sad and sucks. We actually got to watch the Avengers movie for it to be good. And I hope in my heart, what I would prefer, and I also think people are overcomplicating it a bit. I wonder I wonder, and I kind of hope that they do save their Earth at the end of this, so you just have a straight up Fantastic Four movie you can enjoy and watch, and that the way they get folded into Doomsday is the same way that the X-Men and everyone else get folded in. There's just general incursions happening in the multiverse and everyone's affected, rather than some unique scenario happening with the Fantastic Four that leads to this contrived situation where they are utter failures as heroes and need to that also means that in the Doomsday movie they're just going to be sad and hate each other and hate them. I just don't like that, how that would leave this movie. It just feels like such a I don't know.
I agree with you to a point. Their involvement in Doomsday has to be more significant than everybody else because it's their Doctor Doom. He's the reason that they're there.
Do we know that though?
Well, the director of this movie said that he knew about Robert Downey Jr. being Doctor Doom, and he would not confirm nor deny if he's in this movie or not. So he probably is.
He did, but then he also did say something recently where he said other Fantastic Four movies have been an origin story and had Doctor Doom in them as the villain, and ours is neither. He said that.
Well, yeah, it's not an origin story, and he's obviously not the main villain because it's Galactus.
Right. So, but I also am he also said there's no other superheroes in this universe, so I'm if he's in it, that would mean he's probably Victor Von Doom, not Tony Stark. If he's from this,
I don't think.
But they've also said he's got a connection to. I just don't know what they're doing with Doom. I don't know what's going on. So
I think it's too early to tell.
Either way, I'm fine with them having a connection with Doom. I just think it'd really make for a very unsatisfying Fantastic Four movie if their world gets destroyed and it goes, hey, you got to watch Avengers Doomsday to have a satisfying conclusion where we're going to merge them into the boring-ass MCU world. You know what I mean? Just give me this one fucking movie, for Christ's sake. Like, please.
Yeah,
Please.
but I mean, if they're building hype for Doomsday, they might want a tragedy. So it's hard to say.
I know it would. I just think it would make the movie a lot worse. That's just my opinion. Like it would hurt this movie. And if the X-Men are there, I just think it would be a lot simpler to be like. And maybe the reason why the Fantastic Four get involved is because their Doom is getting involved, and they want to like pursue that, or they want to stop him. Maybe they don't even know that their Doom is a bad guy or a villain or something. There's like so many, and also it's connected to Iron Man. So I'm like, how does that work if there's no other superheroes in there? I don't know how any of this Doom shit works. This Doom shit, that's why I'm almost like, just don't even. He's probably gonna be in like the post-credit scene or something, most likely. But I'm almost like, just don't even fucking acknowledge him in this movie because I really just don't. Everything with Doom is so dumb that I would rather just not. Does that make sense? Like I'd rather just let.
I feel like there's definitely gonna be like Ledveria Easter eggs or whatever. Like it'll be a news story or something.
Probably
stuff like that throughout the movie, and then he'll probably show up in the post-credit scene.
Yeah,
because this is the next movie is Doomsday, so they're setting the stage for it.
Yeah, but they've done such a bad job at setting up Doomsday that I'm like, how the fuck? I don't know.
Well, it's obviously a like a rush patch job because they were supposed to be Gang Dynasty.
I'm just begging they didn't sacrifice the really cool Fantastic Four movie. It would suck. But maybe we'll see. We'll see. But we'll see what happens. But because I don't know, I just can't see either way. One of the things I am excited about though is there is a rumor that there might be like there's a rumor that the Reed Richards from the 2004 movies might be in this movie because there's this old photo of Pedro Pascal doing the rap party with the crew, and he covered up this guy's face, and he put a king hat on him, and everyone was like, oh, it's probably Robert Downey Jr., but then something happened where like Robert Downey Jr. was like confirmed in a different location at that time, so it wasn't him. So everyone's like, who is that guy? And everyone's like, maybe it's the Reed Richards, right? And I'm like, would that be? I would almost prefer that as the tie-in to the multiverse shit than like their world blow up.
Yeah.
That was also pre-reshoot.
I would love to see Multiverse of Madness Reed, but he's spaghetti.
Yes. You know what I also want? I was thinking about this. I'm like, okay, my last thing about this. I thought about this today actually at work is if they're doing a Fantastic Four trilogy, which fucking please, right?
Yeah.
What villains do you do if you do Doom in the Avengers movie? Like, what do you have left? Like, you know what I mean?
Galactus and then Doom.
Right? They have a lot of great villains, but I can't see them bringing out an Annihilus and being like, everyone's excited for Annihilus.
Or a mole man.
Right. I did think of a really cool villain for like their third movie, or maybe their second. Yeah, the Maker.
I just guessed that.
You did. I think it would be great if they are setting up Reed's like sort of. Reed's always kind of got this weird complex where he's really guilty, So like, imagine there's
Reed. No, not the original. Get the Four Stick one.
That's where I'm building towards, right? Get what's his name? That
Miles
actor,
Teller.
Miles Teller, who's a great actor, by the way, right? Really good actor. Get him. So like, if you're telling the story of Reed and his like struggle, how cool would it be to see a worst case scenario Reed, and it's the Fan Four, and by the way, make it the one from Fan Four Stick. Like, make it like, say he killed his universe. I don't know, but like, bring back Miles Teller, and he's the villain, and you get to tell the story of Pedro Reed like learning to overcome his worst. You know what I mean? How fucking cool! I don't know. I would love
even then. You can also that can be how you set up your MCU reboot without rebooting.
Right?
You do an Ultimate Universe.
Exactly. Yes. That would be awesome.
Ultimate Reed was much younger when he turned evil.
Yes, he's much younger. Yep. Fun fact: I actually read the Fantastic Four. Ultimate Comics, the initial Ultimate Fantastic Four volume. I read that as a kid, before he became the Maker. Like, I was very familiar with that iteration of the Fantastic Four. So, I don't know. I think that's like my, like, if you need a villain, that would be a great villain, And I think Miles Teller would do it. Come on. You tell me he's come back as a villain, evil, like, dude, That'd be dope. And this guy who like builds universes, like this Reed who's evolved to a degree of like intelligence where he can like build worlds and stuff. Dude, that would be
Probably
so fucking
goes
cool.
killing off the Council of Reeds.
Yep. Oh, he does like a siege on him. Oh my god. Oh my god. I would.
That's juicy.
That's my head. That's my little pitch. My nerd.
You get like all the different fan castings for Reed Richards that everybody's had.
Yep. Bring them all. And also, how much
off.
play on the nostalgia with the other Reed from 2004? Have the maker fucking kill him, and you're like, oh no, he killed the one.
Have us meet the Illuminati. I want to see the Illuminati Reed's Fantastic Four. I want to see what they look like.
Yeah.
And I want Maker to kill them off. Like I want to see what's her name? John Krasinski's wife. I want to see her as Sue.
Yeah.
I have a headcanon. I have a headcanon that
I just want another John Krasinski Reed scene. Honestly, just bring him another John Krasinski Reed.
Yeah, give him a second run. Yeah, that'd be. But I love
kill him again.
My theory with the one that my spaghettified Reed. I just told Aiden this. My theory with him is that this is going to sound insane, but that the Chris Evans Human Torch is his Human Torch, and they are just the worst Fantastic Four. Like they're all imbeciles.
Makes sense.
They all just get violently murdered.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Sue was like imploded from the inside. Thing had all of his rocks ripped off of his body or something.
Yep. Yeah.
I'll get these violent ass.
No,
deaths.
He would like force Sue into position where she has to make a bubble around herself to shield herself, and then he just makes the bubble like crush her. Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary. Well, I wasn't initially. I was like, oh, don't bring Miles Teller into this, but then I was like, okay, you know what? That's
as
not
a villain. Bad. I mean,
yeah.
Come on.
He's a sick bastard. I always get him and Professor X's Cerebro like black suit confused all the time.
They're very similar.
It's really weird.
I mean, they're doing the new Ultimate Universe, so you could even have it be like, oh, he had his Ultimate Universe, and now he's gonna make his new Ultimate Universe after he's been a villain in a Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, exactly. I think I genuinely believe that a Miles Teller evil Reed and then this more like family man, softer Pedro Pascal father Reed would be a really interesting clash. You know what I mean? Like I think that would be really cool. Like just their different energies and the dynamic. You know, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
That's my pitch.
Be like
Marvel.
Be like if Andrew Garfield was like the Green Goblin in No Way Home.
Dude, my original pitch for Andrew Garfield to come back before No Way Home was that he was going to play the superior Spider-Man. That was my pitch,
that would have been great. See,
there you go.
It's just good. Just take the bad one and make him a bad guy.
There you go. That's a good logic.
You've got a great actor just waiting. You know what I mean?
No, okay, all right. Well, it's a shame Aiden's not here for this next part. I mean, obviously he would have been screaming over the Fantastic Four trailer, but our boy predicted this a day early.
Yep.
Because Hasbro put out a pre-order for fucking Frank Castle, the GOAT, the Punisher from Born Again, all new figure, all new sculpt, pinless, excellent likeness. Oh my god. Wait. My wallet is like, no. Wait.
Like 3 of them.
I did pre-order 3 of them.
All I'm gonna say about this is that he looks fantastic, and that the likeness is like one of the best likenesses I've ever seen on a single Marvel Legends figure.
I was scared that this could have gone one of two ways. Either this would, because whenever it's a unique looking guy, this is why I'm worried about Pedro Pascal. But anyway, it's either they nail it and it looks perfect, or it's fucking Harrison Ford. They just can't do it, but they nailed it. They did it.
Yeah, I mean, this is digital render, so we'll see when the actual product comes out. But
I said that too.
It's a sexy render.
Yeah, I was actually at work and I went to, this is my classic move, going to the shitter to pre-order the because I was like,
You went to the shitter to watch Fantastic Four trailer.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's my move. I go to the shitter to do
this. Is my secret move.
My secret.
I do the same thing. Valid.
I don't like that he doesn't have 2 fists, but I have flesh tone fists, so I can fix that. I love him. I love him a lot.
I love him.
He looks great. I mean, he's such a simple. It's one of those things where it's like it's such a simple like a figure to make because he's just a guy in tactical. But it's like just don't fuck it up, just don't fuck it up. And sometimes you do.
Just give it the tender love and care that it needs.
Yes,
and they did.
He looks great.
He's got the weird McFarlane ball peg shoulder things again. It seems to be their thing now.
He doesn't come with. He does have a holster for his gun that actually works, which is cool.
Yes.
It's not a fake.
He's got a removable pistol, which is great.
I'm a little sad, even though he never uses like an AK-47 or anything a rifle in the movie or in the show. I kind of just wish he had one.
He's got the hands for it though, so if you have one, you can give it to him.
Yeah. Yes, he does. And I'm glad he doesn't have some bullshit trench coat on because that would have looked. It would have been a terrible match to you know what I mean? Like, and this can retroactively be your Punisher for like Daredevil season 2 and the show. Like it's close enough.
The motherfucking minigun.
Yep.
Oh man, he looks so good. I hope that next year with his special we get like a proper full-on definitive like prime costume with a full skull. But I mean this is the perfect redemption of the old shitty Netflix Punisher figure.
It's a perfect redemption, and it's the perfect Punisher as we know him in the era we've had, like to the way he's been. This is the perfect figure for that.
This is quintessential Punisher, a John Bernthal Punisher up until this point.
Yep.
So it just looks so good.
Hell yeah. I do have one complaint. He clearly doesn't have a boot swivel, and you can see them trying to make up for it with the ankle pin and the legs. I'm like,
yeah, that's annoying.
That's my only thing. That's it.
Yeah. Hopefully, you could probably fix that with like a G.I. Joe figure or something, but that requires work, and you shouldn't have to do that.
Yep.
But also, Matt's not going to have a boot swivel, so.
Nope. Ugh. I got to do it.
Oh well. But yeah, it was really great. I can't wait. I'm very excited. Braden, where the fuck did you go, you fucking loser?
John Bernthal. I'm out of here, man.
It's like, what? That guy? He said he doesn't like naps. I love naps.
Just to hang out there before he comes back to stall, what is the next figure you think they would make for Daredevil? Like, what's the one that they need to do next after this one?
For Born Again, it's got to be Kingpin, right? Mayor Kingpin.
It could be Kingpin. They have done a Kingpin figure recently, right?
But I feel like his like all white.
Right. It would look great. I'm a little more like
maybe all pinless.
If I could choose, I would choose. Even though the costume's a little like hobo-y, I would still choose Bullseye, just because we haven't gotten a Bullseye, and I would just hope on my hands and knees that he would come with 2 heads, one unmasked and one masked, and then I would just take off the mask, and I think it would be fine. I'd
rather wait for season 2 for Bullseye, because then at least he's getting an update of the costume.
True. Very true. Very true.
I would want Kingpin. I would say Kingpin and Mayor Kingpin, and then Muse, and then I would wait for season 2 for Bullseye.
Yeah, Muse would be cool. Even though he fucking gets murked so quick, but it would still be cool to have him because he looks great. He looks cool while he's around.
And then I hope Swordsman gets a costume next season.
Yeah, what the fuck? Get my man out of fucking a suit and a fucking
I hope Frank breaks him out, and then they get to have some like witty banter between them, because that actor's got such charisma, and Frank would just have none of his shit.
Swordsman needs a new suit, but Bullseye also needs a new suit.
He
more than the new suit that he's getting.
Give him a fucking helmet, man.
Cut his mouth open, for God's sake.
Let us see his goddamn his handsome
toothless
jawline.
His toothless grin.
I would honestly rather, if I had to pick between Bullseye with the weird balaclava mask or just no mask, and I can't have a classic helmet, I would pick no mask.
Like,
legitimately, if I had to choose, I would pick no mask.
You want to see him. You want to see him do shit.
I want to see his creepy fucking smile.
Yeah, the actor Wilson Bethel is just super weird guy, which I think is awesome. Like he himself is weird.
He's so good though. He's so good.
He is so good.
Yeah, his figure's great. You know what else is great? The finale.
What a
finale. Born Again.
Morning.
What are you eating, bro?
We're having candies. My dad ate my candies, and I'm pissed off. Also, I realized. Sorry, I left. I realized I hadn't fed the dogs in 2 hours, and I panicked.
Oops.
We went upstairs. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got the finale Born Again, and shit's badass.
Dude, sorry, real quick. Saw someone draw this costume for Swordsman. That'd be fucking awesome. I love this shit.
That would be sick.
Dude, that was great. Dude.
Crazy ass sword. Hell yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is kind of a simple episode. I described it as glorious violence, and that's pretty much just the episode in a nutshell. There's a lot of violence. We open on a flashback where Vanessa is getting Bullseye out of prison and wants him to murder Foggy, and then he shoots Kingpin in the present day for some reason, unexplained, and we never see him again.
We see him again at the end, but that's it.
Do we?
Yeah, he's one of the in like when the music's playing. He's one of the last shots.
In the music video. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
he's at his old like apartment or whatever.
He's in a shithole.
But yeah, so that happens, and then there's some recovery time where Matt verbally cucks his girlfriend.
Yep.
Fucking first thing he says when he wakes up is Karen. And she's
Aaron.
like, oh.
Well, she's probably done with his ass going forward.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
The ending of this episode kind of really makes me think that she might be Lady Muse next season, because like she's clearly on the bad guy side now.
Yeah, I got a lot of thoughts. I don't know. In terms of her, a lot of people saying they hate her, and she's like they've made her like the most unlikable character. But
no, I still like her.
I like that they've made the decision to make her on the antagonist side. I think in terms of the drama and storytelling, that's a great idea. And also, like, we obviously don't want her with Matt. We want Matt with Karen. Like, no shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. So their relationship was always going to be undercut by, even in this season, it's fine, but it's like, you're always like, you know what I mean? It's not like, Karen.
Yeah, where's Karen, though?
With the benefit of hindsight, it's definitely meant to be like he's indulging in this life when he himself can't fully towards the end of the season, he's like, no, this isn't me. You know?
She's a season-long, like, one-night stand. That's what she is.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But it makes for great storytelling for her to now become on the opposite force. I think that's really interesting.
And also, logically speaking, she's not she's not technically in the wrong because she doesn't know, she doesn't know any of this shit. She's oblivious as anyone else would be. She doesn't know fucking Kingpin ripped a guy's jaw off.
Yeah, she doesn't know that she doesn't know that he actually smashed a guy's head in a car door. It's just as far as she knows, it's an unsubstantiated rumor.
Yeah. So weird how that's like public information.
Yeah. Then the police commissioner confides in, I don't know what her name is, Kingpin's PR lady.
Sheila, I think,
Sheila.
Right?
She's a rat. She's a damn dirty rat.
Doesn't feel good about it, though.
It doesn't fucking matter.
Well, I think she was scared for her goddamn life.
No, she was not under any threat. She was not under any threat.
Gallo was not going to hurt her. No way. He was not.
No, she's scared of Kingpin. What he was going to do.
Right. But wait, what's your point then?
Yeah, no. What?
I'm saying she was scared of what he would do if she worked with him, is what I'm saying.
But she said she would. She said she would.
Yeah. She said she would.
She's like, if you go to the Supreme Court, I'll vouch. Literally said she would.
But that was a lie because she was recording it, though.
She was recording.
No. Wait, she was recording?
Yeah,
she was recording.
That's how Kingpin knows, because then he's listening to recording and she's crying outside in the hallway.
She's crying.
He never made a threat against her, so she's just a rat, and I don't like her, and she sucks.
She's not as good as the other.
She deserves to feel bad because she got him killed.
Okay.
Then
her days are, even though she helped Kingpin, her days are numbered.
She's gonna die. or at least she should die. Or
She's
go to
the
prison.
least on board out of all the guys we've seen help getting Kingpin. You know, she's like
Again,
the one.
Ratted out the police commissioner. She's probably more on board than most people in that office.
I'm just saying, you got your boy.
Well, I know. I think I get what Brain's saying. Jeff definitely believe she's on board because she's terrified for her life. Like she thinks something's gonna happen to her. I definitely think it's under like it's self-preservation. That's
Sure.
my.
But she's a coward, and she's a rat. And
All I'm saying, she's no Daniel, she's no Buck. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, she's no Buck that fucks. Daniel's
Buck
a
is
little
the
rat
fuck.
though. Daniel's a little bitch.
Daniel, he is, but he's also
he's
loyal.
Yeah, he's loyal. He's got some balls. He's got some stones.
He does.
We go to Matt's apartment. Matt goes to his apartment, and
Dies slowly.
Frank's there, and
Yeah.
we get another delicious conversation between Matt and Frank. And he's like, "What do they call you, nightgown man?" Fucking, I love them. They're dynamic. Their conversations are always fantastic. And then he's like, "Hey, there's a fucking minivan of fucks outside. You know when they're coming up, I'm gonna chop them up. All right, I'm not playing patty cake." And I just squealed when he said chop them up. I was like, oh my god, biggest grin on my face, just sheer delight.
Mm-hmm.
And they proceed to fuck up a bunch of dudes, just viciously. Frank is murdering them. Just like,
Matt's like, stop!
Slicing out jugulars. Matt's like, stop it. Stop.
Don't do that. Cut it
Knock
out.
it off.
And meanwhile, Frank's like,
It's fucking great.
that's the best part of this episode, listening to him grunt all the damn time.
The one lieutenant guy, he gets shot and he's like on the ground, and I thought they were gonna address the the Punisher fanboy thing in that moment. They don't. There's a grenade. That guy gets blown up like 6 times. There's a lot of explosions in Matt's apartment.
Yeah.
And then they jump out the window. They land on a car. They walk down the street.
Well, they do talk to him. Matt's like, I don't want you to kill him. He's like, this isn't what I want.
Yeah,
No.
they talk to him. They talk to him. They don't address the fanboy thing.
No, not till later.
Yeah, which was what I was expecting was going to happen in that moment. Was that Frank would be like, "What the fuck's your problem?"
Yeah.
Then we get Daniel in City Hall, I think, City Council, and he's taking notes on who's a bitch and who's a Chad, and he's making threats with Buck in the background, just aura farming, as he is wont to do.
Yeah.
It's not all he does. Sometimes he kills people.
Sometimes. Occasionally.
Okay, and he just stands there and looks pretty.
He tried to kill Matt. Didn't go very well for him.
No, because he doesn't know Matt has super hearing like that.
Yeah, it's fair.
But so then Daniel lays it out. He's like, "Hey, if you're not with the mayor, you're his enemy, and he hates you." And then Matt and Karen talk to Frank, and they finally acknowledge the love triangle verbally. They actually address it.
Yep.
So that's cool.
It's great because it feels like a payoff because we had that setup in Punisher, and it feels like it's crazy that storyline isn't. It feels like they're acknowledging that and paying that off. Like that always felt like it was going somewhere, and now we feel like we've paid that off, and we've opened that Pandora's box.
I think that the Punisher special will have him resolve to that's just a fantasy. It's never going to happen, and that'll be part of why he goes full Punisher.
Yes,
but
it was really nice to see Karen again. It felt
she's very involved.
Yeah, I think it felt super just felt right at the moment. It was like, oh yeah, character we need. You know, we can't just have him and Punisher. They hate each other.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of need someone to help ground them. And Karen's like the perfect character for that.
Yeah.
And getting some even resolution with Foggy and like explaining about like what do they call it, Red Hook, and how it's like a lawless place where he wants to make it like his city basically. Like that's like where his operations are gonna. That's super cool. I was like, oh shit. That is the true lawless world right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
just getting Karen back. It's like reuniting with an old friend. It's like she belongs in this show, and you can feel it when she's on screen, and in the writing. Like it feels like the show is just so much happier to have her and to have Frank in it.
Mm-hmm.
I think she contributes. I'll talk about this a little bit more when we all wrap up, right? But I think she really contributes to making this episode genuinely feel the most like old Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
It really, to me, this episode in particular felt the most like it was just season 4 of Daredevil. Like legitimately, I was just like, wow, we're just like this could have released with a season where he's with Karen the whole time and everything, and this totally would have fit it in place, you know. So yeah,
if only.
Absolutely.
It's just so good. It feels so right, and I hope that next season is just all of this. But
yes.
Then Frank starts to hear. He takes one of the radios off one of the dead cops that he violently murdered, and he's in his bunker, and he's listening to them like lay out their plans, and he's like, "All right, fuck these guys," and he just walks up on them. And he starts just grunting, just screaming, just massacring them. He throws an axe in one guy's head and then rips it out. So good. I love it. I love him. He Assassin's Creed like stabs a guy in the jugular and it's like paints the whole scene red. So good. He's amazing. He's just wonderful. But then he gets outnumbered and he gets caught. Unfortunately,
he's just a guy at the end of the day.
He's just one man. Yeah.
But they're very lucky that these guys don't want to kill him. They're very much like, hey,
they will do anything but kill him.
They're like, hey, we think you're cool. I don't care if you killed like 30 of our dudes. You're cool. We love you, dude.
I fucking worship the ground you bleed on, my guy.
Yeah, they are ridiculously stupid.
They're like a cult. Like he could easily have a cult.
Yep. And they're even like, yo, you should join us and do it because we respect you. And his reaction is the most like real reaction you ever have, where he's just like, what the hell? Like,
I love it. Like,
respect me,
clowns.
Yeah, bunch of clowns.
Fucking love it. And he's like, you think you know my pain? You think you know my loss? It's man, it's just so good. He's just picking them apart, and then they're like, all right, whatever, just punch him, I guess.
Punch him and then lock him up, which is the worst thing they ever could have done. They know he's getting out, and they're so stupid they fall for it. I'm not gonna, the post-credit scene. They fall for it.
The Punisher wants to shake my hand. We'll get there. So because fucking what's her nuts ratted out the police commissioner, he meets up with Kingpin, and they talk. They have a convo. And he's like, oh, you never stop being the Kingpin, you little fucking man child, you fucking coward.
Can I say something too? First of all, dumb brain logic incoming. This is so stupid. Okay. He gets into a car with a guy named Luke, and I went, no.
Say that again?
Don't keep your brain.
What's going on with you? What are you talking about? You sound insane.
Don't think too hard about this.
Really? The black guy named Luke?
What did he say?
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man?
You fucking bastard.
Stop. It was the first thing that I was like, okay, that's interesting.
That is exactly how it sounds.
I'm stupid, and everything else is stupid.
Well, that's not what it is. It was just I wasn't paying attention, and I was like,
shut your bitch ass up. God. Wah. Collective internet space right there.
Yeah. Anyways.
God damn it.
Hold on. It's not as bad. You're making it worse than it actually was. It wasn't like that. It wasn't. It wasn't that bad. It was literally me being like,
Huh?
I heard Luke and I went, Luke Cage. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Had nothing to do with the race.
We're poking your balls. Okay, we're probably
Anyway, no, he's not. Ty's not. Ty's legit. Anyways, second thing, they go to a fucking white room with sheets everywhere. I'm like, I know exactly what's about to fucking happen in
There's
here.
a bunch of people standing with their hands together and
again
surrounded by
murder
tarps.
sheets, tarps, murder sheets everywhere. You're like, okay, this is the scene we've been waiting for. We all know that this is what this is. So let's see how far they go. And how far did they fucking go?
Yeah,
Pretty fucking far.
we heard whispers and rumors about a practical gore effect they got away with, and yeah, so the commissioner, he gets karate chopped in the jugular, drops down to his knees, and then Kingpin gives him a nice cranium massage.
He's like, I want this setting to be perfect. I want to fucking go.
Rips his scalp open and jaw halfway off, and my God,
I don't know if this is true because I don't really remember.
I wish I'd recorded my reaction because I was like, "Whoa!"
I think this is worse than the door because you see it a lot better.
No. This is much worse than the door.
This is 100% worse than the door.
No, the door obscured it because it's you just kind of saw the goop coming down, but it was in silhouette. It was like dark.
It was like a distance away.
This was in bright light, like as clear as day.
In front of the camera. It's just blurred. That's it.
And it's really cool. It's
really not even blurred when he's peeling his fucking scalp up. It's only blurred when they cut to the jaw angle.
Yes.
It's sick.
It was very cool. I also, what I like? Apparently Vincent D'Onofrio was like leading the charge on this effect. He was like, okay, I want to, because apparently initially he was gonna be looking at him and he was just gonna grab him, like looking at him and just go. But Vincent D'Onofrio's like, no, I want him to spin him down. I want it to break in two spots. Apparently he was really like fucking specific about it because he wanted it to be like the door. He literally says he wanted it to be.
That's a great scene.
It's so good.
Sorry. What I was gonna say is what I like about the execution of this gore effect is the way that the head cracks and breaks. Is that if he would have grabbed his head like this and just went and had like exploded, it would have been really corny. It would have looked like a fucking old fucking.
This is like Spy Kids 3D, like an eyeball flies at the screen.
Yeah, it like happens in different ways.
Yeah,
it happens more realistically, where like the jaw breaks up, but it's still there, and the head just kind of crushes in a little bit. It feels more realistic.
It doesn't even. The head doesn't even crush necessarily. Like just the skin gives way.
It's sick. It freaking creeped me out, man. It was like, I'll get into that a bit later, but like this whole episode fucking freaked me out. It was like the concept of everything was just like, God, this is fucked.
Yeah, we gotta deep dive on the psychology of Braden later.
I don't think it's that deep. But there was something else I really want to say before I let Thatch go. Oh shit, what was it? No, I'm losing it. Yeah, he does do that.
Crushes his head.
It's gross. Kingpin's just like, we're gonna, and he's like, anyone have any questions or whatever, and everyone's just like,
this man loves to get blood on his white suits. It's his favorite thing.
Yeah, he wears white. He knows it's gonna leave a.
This is the goriest thing in the entire MCU by far. Like,
the MCU would have never dreamed of doing this before they filmed the show.
Can you imagine showing 2008 Kevin Feige this, and he'd have a fucking heart attack?
He'd be horrified. He'd be like,
no,
mortified.
No, what is this?
That's
scary.
So then Karen and Matt stake out the compound, and they have a conversation about how to proceed, because Matt's like, I'm going in, and she's like, you're gonna fucking die. So they don't. He's like, I need an army. And there's chaos in the city because Kingpin turned on all the power. And then Kingpin meets with Heather, and he shakes her hand, and he's like, I want you to be my something of mental health.
Yeah.
You don't care about mental health.
Administrator of... Yeah, no, he's...
What are you doing?
He just wants her to be there to diagnose vigilantes as insane, so that he can kill them
and she's biased. So there you go.
And I think he wants her there also as like bait for Matt.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, fish on a worm on a hook. But
you get this nice little music video.
We get a fucking beautiful music video. Also, well, before that, we get the live stream. Kingpin addresses his fans, and he's like, "Hey, what's up, gang? What's up, pinners? City's under siege. We're gonna take out the vigilantes, and I'm gonna protect you. Like and subscribe."
There was another scene during the raid where they shoot a guy, an innocent guy.
Yeah. There's and they show that in the music video as well, where there's a task force. There's 2 task force guys. They shoot a kid who's looting, and one of them's like, "He was just a kid." He's like, "No, he was a vigilante," and he puts a mask on.
Yeah.
And then during the music video, they show that same guy who's like, he was just a kid, and you see him. It seems like there's some dissent within the ranks of the task force. So and then Matt walks out to like 5 people in a bar, and he gives a great speech.
He's building an army. He's building an army. We're sitting here being like, Jessica Jones, who's gonna show up? And it's fucking Cherry, motherfucker.
What is Cherry gonna do against these fuckers?
He's gonna fuck shit up. And then it's Cherry, and it's Josie, and it's the cop from the bank episode, and Karen, and there's like another cop, I think.
Yep.
It's weird. Josie's my favorite street level hero.
Josie's doesn't she whip out a shotgun at some point or something?
I think so.
I feel like she's gonna do more than fucking Cherry will. This absolute clown.
Josie's more powerful than Cherry, let's be real.
Yeah. I mean, Josie's establishment was raided by Bullseye, and she's still working.
I can't believe Josie is still like involved after all these years.
She's more involved. This is objectively more involved than she ever was in 3 seasons. More involved.
Yeah, she's like fully involved.
It's crazy. Yeah, because before it was just a place they go and they drink, and she like nods or whatever.
Like
but now
the Nick Fury of Daredevil HQ now.
Yeah, that is interesting. Okay, so Matt's apartment's fucked. Everything's falling apart.
Yeah, it fucking explodes.
He doesn't get the new suit yet, or he doesn't paint his suit yet. Obviously,
no, that'll be next season.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were going to end off on that, but they didn't. Fantastic finale. Leaves you with so much hype. It's super well done, and for me, really fucking scary. Because
there's like 3 cops.
Oh yeah, but they're just cops. They're just nobody.
And then there's a guy behind Cherry who's literally looking at the wall the entire time. He doesn't turn to face Matt.
He was just a customer. He just wandered in. He was like, "What's happening?" Daredevil's there. He's like, "Huh?"
Sorry. Before we continue, we get the shot of all the vigilantes locked up in the basement. We get Swordsman is he's got all that swagger. He doesn't give a shit.
Yep.
And then
he's
a
little shit.
Well, he's ticked off, but he's still like he's perched up. He looks slick as hell. And then we get Frank, who's chained up like a rabid dog, because he basically is, and just sitting there with his legs spread, watching them walk by, and then they have a meal, and then post-credit scene, Frank talks to one of the fanboys, shakes his hand, pulls his arm engage, snaps his fucking arm, and gets the keys off of him and gets out.
Which honestly is like fully. Well, I just say that's fully deserved. Like that more.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Deserved every. Like,
for one, fuck really that guy.
Punisher was
also,
like, "Oh,
you're an idiot."
And he's a murderer, so who gives a shit?
Yeah,
he deserved it.
So can I get my final thoughts? Like,
yeah, go ahead.
Not just on the finale, but on the show as a whole.
Yeah.
Now we're at this moment because I've had a lot. Because this show has been like a very interesting experience because of the like honestly, the behind the scenes of it all.
Mm-hmm.
The actual like fabrication of the show is interesting.
The meta knowledge.
Yes, I think these last 2 episodes are excellent and on par with old Daredevil all the way. I think there's other episodes in the season that are also excellent. Like I like the bank episode a lot. I love the Hector Ayala episode. There's good shit in there. But I do think that there's been a sort of awkward overall flow to the show, and I was thinking about this a lot. And I watched a video by a YouTuber I like named Dan Merle, and he talked about it. Where I think what happened with the show was, if you look at the episodes that are preserved from the original, they're much more episodic, or they're like short arcs, like the Hector Ayala case, 2 episodes. Mm-hmm. The bank robbery, 1 episode. Muse is like an episode and a half. I feel like they changed how that played out, but it probably would have been like 2 or 3 episodes. Would have been very episodic, and I think that was. And remember, it was 18 episodes. It was going to be an 18-episode season. I think that original Born Again was more of an episodic series of short arcs that sort of had a kind of loose thread going through, but more so it was like, trial of the every couple weeks kind of scenario. And then when they went to rework it, they had to reverse engineer it back into like a more linear, like straightforward narrative like old Daredevil was, right? Where it's like, okay, now we're going to add at least Vanessa and Fisk scenes to give Fisk like a very straight line arc. We're going to try to make all of the events of those episodic episodes be the crux that makes Matt Murdock turn back into Daredevil, like when they flash through it. But that feels like a solution to we need to give Matt Murdock a clear narrative arc. We have all these episodic footage. Let's rationalize it as those events combined make him, and then we're going to show the footage of them. That makes him, give up on his current life and go back. And so I think that that's kind of what happened, is they were like taking an episodic show and then reverse engineering it into a more straightforward show. And I think old Daredevil is mostly linear narrative. It's mostly season 1, right? Point A to B, Matt versus Kingpin, pretty directly, right? Matt becoming Daredevil, him figuring out Kingpin, taking him down. Yeah. Season 3,
climbing the ladder.
Exactly. Season 3 is pretty on the outset. Kingpin's out of jail and he's gaming the system with the cops. Matt is giving up his life as Matt Murdock, and now he's got to learn to, go back to his friends, and that's one long storyline, right? The only season that is sort of broken up into arcs like this is season 2, because we get the John Bernthal Punisher arc, and then we kind of get like an Elektra arc, and then we get like a Greater Hand arc at the very end that kind of comes out of that, and then Punisher comes back for like 2 minutes at the end and is like, he kind of shows up more. There's a couple scenes with him, but it's kind of like, all right, he kind of is tacked on there. And season 2 is widely regarded as the worst season, so I think on terms of my overall thoughts of Born Again, and by the way, season 2 of Daredevil being the worst season, it's still better than most shows of television. Like, it's still fucking awesome. You know what I mean? I think Born Again, just because of I think it reminds me a lot of season 2. Like, honest, in terms of the experience of watching it, in terms of that sort of like, So I think if I were to look back, and I do think there's true excellence. Some of the best Daredevil shit is in this show, like genuinely. And I'm not saying they should have gone one way or the other. I'm not saying that like they should have made it episodic or they should have made it linked. I think given the scenario, this was the best route. Given what they were given, this was the best direction to take, in my opinion. But it comes with its like, jank. It's just going to. I don't know if I would have changed too much about that. Like, if I was in the same seat as Dario Charpone, I think I would have made the same call. I would have been like, let me film a bunch of Fisk Vanessa scenes to make him have a story, and let me try to make Matt. I would have done the same thing. And again, it works. Like, it functions, it works, and by the end of it, it's great, right? But there's no denying that it's kind of an up and down experience, not in terms of quality, but just in terms of flow. It's a little like,
a little jank. There's different times where each of us was like, that was janky. And like, some of us would be like, oh, that was fine to me, but then that was janky.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a bumpy road.
Yeah. So I think given what they were handed, I think the fact that it's still pretty damn good is a real. Not that the show was awful before, but just that they needed to Frankenstein a show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Given that, I think it's frankly any other show would have been god awful. And the fact that they made it work
could have been worse. Yeah.
I mean, based on what we got of the old show, it would have been good. It just wouldn't have been an actual follow up to Daredevil, the original.
Yes. Which would have taken a lot of the emotional like pull out of it. I think it would have been a little bit distant.
Yeah.
But I also think what they do by the end of the season is they set the table for a truly excellent season 2. Like they play that song, all the pieces are in their place from Radiohead, right? But like genuinely, they found a way, I think, to take literally every single character, except maybe Cherry, I guess, but every other character, and put them in the most interesting place they could be in. Even Michael Gandolfini, Wilson Fisk's little like guy now is such a more him like threatening all of the city council, like that was his best scene. That was excellent. Even what they did with Commissioner Gallo, who's like this running thread, and you're like, where are we going with this? Well, we got his head caved in. They put all the characters in the most interesting places they could have to make a really good season 2, right? So they deserve a lot of credit for that. But I think
the only people who don't get satisfying continues is what's her name, Nikki. She doesn't get anything.
Well, I disagree. Nikki's the other lawyer, right?
Yeah.
I do. If you look, she's reading a letter. It looks like it's from Matt. It looks like he's sending her a letter that's like, I'm leaving the business. Essentially, that's what it looked. That's kind of the impression I got. Was that her business is falling apart because Matt is leaving,
Forgot.
Which I think is great. I mean, and they have that, and that makes sense because they kind of already had that conversation before when he's like, it feels fake, we're babysitting chaos. But in terms of and I want to ask you guys too, but in terms of how I would rank the Daredevil seasons, I think that I would rank them as 3 is the best one, right? Followed by season 1. And then I actually think I would rank Born Again and season 2 on the same level, which, again, I love Daredevil season 2. It's got its issues, but I still love it. It's still amazing. I still rewatch it all the time. But I think they have similar struggles. So I think I'm not going to say one's better. Because also, like, the Punisher stuff, it's like, the Punisher stuff in Born Again is amazing. It's fantastic. But also, the Punisher stuff in Daredevil season 2 is, like, insanely good. Like it is like next level good, so that's how I rank, which frankly basically means it's on par with old Daredevil in my mind, which I think is good. It might not be the highs, but it's certainly not the lows. I think it's in the middle, but that's why I rank them together. It's not worse. It's not, I think, because there's things I love about Born Again though. There's stuff I fucking think is excellent in Born Again, like the speech at the end, the city without fear. That's awesome. You know what I mean? That goes hard. So anyway, but I want to ask you guys, how would you rank the Daredevil seasons in your mind?
Go first, bro.
No, you go first.
You
go first.
I have less to say. All right, whatever.
I have less to say.
I've only seen season 3 once. I've only seen I haven't watched the show as much. I'm not as familiar with this show as you guys are. So I guess, but I remember season 3 is really good. So season 3 is probably the best. And then I think I like this more than season 1, honestly. I don't really love season 1 a lot, looking back on it. There's things I like about it, like my boy, who I'm forgetting the name of.
Just know that I'm mocking you horrendously in the edit.
That's fine. I don't care. I'm going off like I've seen season 1. I've seen the beginning of season 1 so many times. I think look. Here's the thing. This is my hot take, and nobody agree. Nobody's going to agree with me. I think season 1 is way too long. I think season 1 is like if you could have cut down like 3 episodes, you probably would have been fine. I just think we're and they're all so long, and I just like. Look, I have ADHD baby brain. I can't sit through 13-hour-long episodes without going crazy. That's me.
This guy did say the Batman was bad when he first saw it. So
yeah, but I like it now. I couldn't get into Andor. I watched like the first 10 minutes. I'm like, this is boring. I'm sorry. I tried so hard. But don't hold it against me. We can all have our different tastes. That's fine.
That's why I asked.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think I was ranking. Fool.
You went on a tangent.
Well, the tangent is buying time. Ranking of Kings. Season 3.
That's an anime. He's a weeb. Get it?
Shut up. I haven't seen it. Season 3, then probably. Yeah, I'm right. It's recency bias. It's recency bias. Don't hold the gun. Put the gun down. Put the gun down. I plead the fifth. Season 3, Born Again. Season 1, Season 2. That's me right now.
Okay.
It's wrong. I don't care if it's wrong. It's wrong. I'll take it. I need to rewatch the whole show. I need to give it another shot. I don't care if it's wrong. I don't care.
You're not wrong. It's subjective.
It is. Here's what I would say when comparing to even season 2. There is not a single new character in this show that gets a fraction of the focus that anybody in season 2 gets. And they address it. Matt says, this feels very fake. That doesn't make shallow writing better. So I would say that, there's like a shallow sort of vibe to Born Again, and I hope that they fix that for the next season. Especially since we're getting Karen back and we're going to have more Frank.
And also, like, the characters that they do introduce, like his love interest, Heather, and, like, they put them in parts where I think they're going to be able to tell more interesting stories with it. Heather's way more interesting. Yes. Way more interesting under Fisk than as his girlfriend,
But, like, Cherry is the poster child for that exact problem with this show, is he's just a cardboard cutout, nothing, nobody. So it would be season 3, season 1, season 2, Born Again.
Okay. There you go.
I mean, Daredevil is my favorite live action show of all time and will always be. So, like, you're pitting gods among, like a demigod. It's pretty good. I love the show. It is a mixed bag, though, and I can acknowledge that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I was hooting and hollering in the finale because that was some peak shit.
I genuinely think that
mentally disturbed.
Season 2 is really where they're going
to have to get into that still.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really going to be able to sing and push things. Even Wilson Bethel, by the way, is in a really interesting spot at the end of this. We didn't really talk about it, but they have him out of jail. He escaped, and he's not on anyone's side. He failed killing Fisk, and he's clearly in a really tough spot by the end, and very interested.
Seem like he's on the warpath. Like, he doesn't seem like he's got a real vendetta against anybody.
No, that's what I love, is I feel like he could go either way. I could genuinely see him joining Fisk again. I could also see him joining Matt. I have or neither. I've literally no clue.
We see him with Daredevil in the set photos, but we don't know what the context of that is.
Yeah. I mean, they're probably not shooting in that shot, so they're just hanging out. But
it's an
I
actual
will
shot
say, right, they don't physically, literally paint the suit black. They do visually do it in the final shot of the episode where he's got the red light blinking on him, and then it blacks out.
Cool.
His silhouette is just all black. So they do it.
If every episode was the quality of these last 2 episodes, it would be like top tier Daredevil, like legitimately, it would be great.
Easily.
I have a feeling that season 2 is going to be a lot like more of
if
that.
If every episode was the quality of these 2 episodes plus the bank episode, like, you got a perfect show. But
it's safe to say I don't think Matt's going to be lawyering much in season 2.
No. Definitely not.
Well, it's also fine. The setting. Like, it's not just the characters; it's the world they're in now. The fact that like they are like Matt has never been more of the underdog against Fisk than in any Daredevil season, which is so interesting. Like, it's this hopeless. I've never seen a Daredevil season have such a hopeless feeling to it by the end. Like, I think Daredevil season 3 gets a little hopeless in the beginning for sure. But, like, by the end, they're pretty invigorated. It's a pretty triumphant ending, and this is the opposite of that. And the, like, overall pressure of that, the, like, this, like, opposing force of, like, what could we possibly do against this guy? He's got the cops in him. No one's able to stop him, and we're nothing. Any power that Matt had in the world at the beginning of the season is gone now. He has nothing,
And season 3 is the best season. Matt does no lawyering in season 3, so...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we got great lawyering, dude. We got that Hector Ayala trial, which is fucking awesome.
I think now they realize, like, there you've got that. You can use that. That's your lawyer representation. You're not going to get much of that in season 2.
Now we're going full like comic book like arc. Like event.
I do think that the ending of the ending of the Fisk Daredevil conflict, even since the deal in Daredevil season 3, I've always believed this. I don't think it'll be in season 2 of Born Again, but I think if they do a season 3, it could be. I've always seen Fisk knowing Matt's identity is building towards a storyline where Fisk reveals Matt's identity, and then Matt needs to go on trial to prove he's not Daredevil. I've always seen as that's the only way that they can remove that power from Fisk. They can't like mind wipe him, that'd be hokey. But if they can discredit him, where like no one believes him because in a court of law they proved Matt wasn't Daredevil, then that's the only logical way I can see, unless Fisk just never pulls that ace out of his sleeve, which would be insane. Yeah. That would be so stupid, you know.
Because they're the type, because vigilantes are the people that he respects the least. So why would he have any respect for Matt Salt?
And he hasn't revealed it yet.
We know that.
He does, but I think that ace it's got to get pulled. He's got to do it, you know, at some point. But we're not going to be able to Doctor Strange mind wipe people. We got to find a more also very compelling story for Matt because he is Daredevil. He's got to do something he would never ever do, which is do a illegitimate trial. He's got to lie, which is he's got to lie under oath.
Yeah.
So like the emotional story that would put on Matt and his friends, I think, is also really compelling. You know. So anyway, sorry, that's just I think we are building towards. I can't see any conclusion to that beyond that. That would make sense. You know. So
yeah,
we need to mention how
I definitely think old Daredevil was going there. I think that's where it was building to. Like genuinely, I think that's what it was going to do.
Just real quick, Brayden, to call you out on your nonsense. He absolutely does respect Matt because we get that whole conversation in the first episode where he's like, you know, it's good to see you. Hope you know they have that whole thing where they're like establishing their boundaries and like you don't go this far, I won't go this far, blah blah blah. But then also in this episode, he's like, a dead hero is better than a live vigilante. Like he would willingly kill Matt off and then prop him up as a hero.
Yep,
he does respect him.
I took that more as like the people know who he is, and like that was more him saying it like, well, the people know him as a hero because he saved my life. I didn't take that literally. Like he was literally saying he was a hero.
I think there's a way for him to acknowledge that he's heroic, but not like it. I think there's a.
Yeah, he doesn't like him. He just respects him.
No, he doesn't like it, but he knows that he is a heroic individual. He acts in a heroic manner. You know.
Yeah.
He's altruistic, and he definitely knows that about Matt. You know,
he wasn't a vigilante.
He hates that about Matt.
Yes. I mean, that's the one thing. That's the one thing that I really love about this thing with Matt. At first, Matt jumping in front of the bullet, I was like, "Whoa!" But what I wish they delved into it more because there's a really interesting conversation. Like if Sister Maggie was in this would have been a cool conversation she could have had with Matt, where. That act of selflessness, which, you know, Bernthal Punisher thought was stupid, anyone would have called dumb to save Fisk, right? That act of him jumping in front of the bullet is what threw the greatest wrench into Fisk's scheme that was possible, because he says that certainly damages the optics of this. Like, it really fucks up Fisk's whole plan against him that he jumped in front of. And I like that Matt being altruistic throws a massive wrench into Fisk's schemes. You know, I think that's really cool, you know, because he wouldn't have done that. He would have been petty, but now that I just like that. And I think there's more of that coming, like genuinely, like, so yeah.
Before Bray goes off, I will say there are two things that I think we need in season 2. One, Matt needs to redeem himself by, in a similar fashion, saving Bullseye because he tried to kill him. And then two, season 2 of Daredevil set this up, and we finally need to pay it off. We need Frank versus Kingpin. Finally.
Yeah.
I was going to say 3, something that we're not going to get would be Spider-Man in this season.
Oh, God.
Oh, hell no.
Because why the hell do you have this story where Spider-Man's just fucking sleeping. He's having a nap during this whole arc.
So Dario, he could be lying, but there was an interview that just came out today I was reading at work where they asked about Spider-Man, and he flat out said, I have no idea what they're doing with Spider-Man. Like, he's like, that is not a conversation that I am in or have anything about. So, maybe I could still see them acknowledging it by having Spidey like taking down some vigilante task force guys early on, or having him be under more threat of identity exposure because like maybe there's ways to
a montage you see some vigilante, some task force guys webbed up or something.
Right, and he could acknowledge that it's making his life harder. Like I could see there being world building used, but kind of like how like the TVA are used in Deadpool, where like the showrunners of Loki definitely didn't know that was going to be the path for the TVA. Yeah. They didn't know.
And the movie doesn't really address the Loki.
No. I imagine it'll be and probably not even that massive, but similar-ish in approach, which is a bummer because what we really want. I mean, the best thing is that Spider-Man shows up in Born Again. Like that's the most natural thing. Right. But I don't think we're gonna get that as the main story.
I was talking to Leia about it. And yes, it would be incredible to see Spidey interact with Daredevil. I wouldn't want Spidey and Daredevil and Punisher, because then essentially you're getting two people saying the same thing to Frank, and he's not listening to either of them. And it's just the same conversation, but they're parroting each other. And I don't want that.
I would be okay with Spidey and Daredevil, right? I'd be okay with Daredevil and Punisher, and I'd be okay with Spidey and Punisher, but I would not be okay with all three of them.
All three is just, it's too much.
The dynamic between Daredevil and Spider-Man and Punisher isn't enough to be like, well, these guys would all work. Like
morally, two of them are the same, whereas Punisher is just complete opposite. What would be more interesting is Daredevil, Punisher, and Jessica Jones, because she's pretty much perfectly in the middle of those two.
There you go.
Yes. Yeah, that's another thing I think Punisher. I would love to see, and we never quite got, is Punisher never met the rest of the Defenders ever, and it would be always interesting to see him meet any of it. Maybe not, Danny Rand, but I mean, he's terrible.
I mean, if he meets Danny Rand, I'd love to see him punch him in the face like Matt got.
Yeah, right. But like, I agree. Bernthal and Jessica Jones would have a great interaction. I even think him and Luke Cage would have a really interesting, because Luke Cage is bulletproof, and Punisher is all bullets. He shoots bullets. You know what I mean? So,
and also
he shoots Luke Cage. He's like, "What's up?"
It's literally an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. That's literally what it is.
And then like, Frank is the quintessential pessimist. Luke Cage is the quintessential optimist. He's so optimistic, happy-go-lucky, like it'll all work out. The guy doesn't swear. He says "Sweet Christmas." That's his catchphrase.
Yes.
Funny.
You're totally he's like the super. I also think Luke Cage and Spider-Man would actually get along super well because they very much are men of the people. But yeah, so I think it's sad Spidey can't show up. It's honestly, frankly, a little of a bit of a plot hole, to be like totally honest with you. It's so bad that it's bordering on plot hole, because it's like, what the fuck?
Peter Parker's got to go home at 8 p.m. Just lost power, and where there was rioting in the streets.
And now Peter, he's got to go home at 8 p.m. every night now. Like, that's genuinely going to affect his life.
You could almost make the argument that if this was still Hell's Kitchen, you could kind of fudge that, but we're in
Hell's Kitchen is like 5 blocks at most.
I know, but I'm just saying, if it was like just Hell's Kitchen, then you could get away with it, barely.
And that's the other thing I've heard is Daredevil Born Again season 2 will probably, it's almost certainly going to come out. They already said they're hoping for March again, like in a year exactly, which is so good. Finally erect to normal television release schedules. God damn. But it's going to, Born Again season 2 will end before Spider-Man comes out. So they'll probably tie up a lot of the plot threads, I'm guessing, in season 2. Maybe that's the story arc, is they're able to tie and get Fisk disavowed as mayor, but then maybe in doing so, Fisk leaks that Charlie Cox is Daredevil as like his last vengeful act, and season 3 is dealing with that.
I'm thinking actually season 2 will set up to where he's ousted as mayor, but now he'll have fully established his city state in that legal gray area where he can't be touched. So then he'll just be a dictator over that stretch of New York,
like an Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, Arkham Asylum ass, and then that'll be season 3. Is like we've got an actual dictator on Manhattan, and we can't do anything about him legally.
Yeah. I will say, if you get to that point, depending on what happens in the MCU, you do begin to open another plot hole, which is, why the fuck isn't Captain America coming for him at that point? You know what I mean?
Sam Wilson doesn't give a fuck.
If he has, any other major hero, who lives on Earth, there's a fucking guy who has a corrupt city-state in New York City where a lot of these guys live.
Yeah, but that's the connected Marvel Universe problem with any big bad guy,
Right, but at least it's not Spider-Man, where they actually could bring in a character like that if they wanted to. I don't think it'd be Captain America, but it could be someone like maybe Yelena, or maybe maybe some of the Thunderbolts guys or something.
Kate Bishop. I
think Kate Bishop could function even in season 2 as she's so street level, but I guess
she's very street level. I mean, her show was the one that introduced Kingpin into the MCU.
That'd be cool.
Also introduced Swordsman to the MCU. He's her he's her stepdad. So
I wonder what's going on there. Her family life must be pretty shitty right now.
Yeah. Stepdad's been abducted. Her mom went to prison.
He's hanging out with the champions or whatever.
They do have. I do think kind of where it will go is I do think they're going to break out all those vigilantes. Also, it's funny that there's so few vigilantes in the MCU that they can use in this that they have to just throw random fucking people. I'm like, there's like an old lady there, and I'm like, what vigilante is she? You know what I mean?
She's Grand Man.
She's Grand Man. But I do think we're building basically towards. I think all those guys. I think Bernthal, Punisher, Swordsman, and I think probably a few, if not all, of the Defenders by season 3 are gonna come together. Because man, Swordsman's rich. Like that guy would bring a lot of resources if you could get his help.
Basically, Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, and I did have this thought. If you have to do a trial of Matt Murdock, where he needs to prove he's not Daredevil, and you don't have Foggy to come in there, I do think a great connection and the best way to use this character would be if She-Hulk comes in to defend him and helps him. Now, she doesn't need... I'm literally saying, she doesn't need to turn green once. It doesn't matter, She can just be Jen the whole time. But that would be great. Like, that would be a really clever way to tie it in.
Also...
God, would they even do that?
Jessica Jones, private investigator. They could use her to get evidence that he's not.
Yeah, fake evidence. Yep.
That's crazy. Yeah. And the whole time he's like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this.
Yeah, Jessica's like, just shut up, Matt. You wet blanket of a man.
Yes. He's like, I can't.
I don't like it. It's lying. I can't swear. I can't lie under oath. God will smite me for my sins.
I have a note that I want to go off before we end this. I know we've been talking for a very long time.
Okay.
This episode, actually this whole show, I've been so invested the entire time. That's why I'm reacting the way I have been, because I've been genuinely like...
Except for that week when the show was our least exciting topic.
Yeah. You guys don't know, but last week, we really liked last week's episode.
We did. We sure did.
We talked about it for a very long time. Anyways, this episode fucking freaked me out because the situation of like an entire city being totally cool with this insane human being taking over and just like ruining the entire world and like doing all this shady shit, people getting shot in the streets and stuff. Now, obviously, political commentary. Oh my god, right?
To quote my boy Childish Gambino, "Welcome to America."
Yeah, this is America.
Yeah,
yeah. It's
This is America. Fuck, I totally fuked that up. Anyway, this is America.
Yeah, I corrected you, but that's
corrected me. This is
Welcome to America. Somebody said that. Actually,
welcome to the USA.
I'm pretty sure that's it. I'm pretty sure that coming to America. Whatever. Who cares? Anyways,
this is America.
This is America. That song came out in 2016. Man,
I still haven't moved on. It's the best music video.
Neither has society.
It's never been less relevant.
Yeah. So yeah, watching all this happen was really fucked up. and specifically not just all the horrible stuff you see, but specifically Kingpin and Vanessa having dinner in their evil dungeon while the city burns. Yeah, that with like cages and like that hit me on a weird level that I cannot explain. Where I was just like, "This is fucked up." Like this is real. I think again, I don't remember the earlier seasons very much, but Kingpin fucking feels like a demon in these seasons. Like he is objectively
He gets
evil.
pretty bad in season 1 and season 2. There's season 3. There's some pretty crazy moments where you're like, God, this guy needs to go. Like they do sell that pretty hard in those seasons.
Do you think he's worse in this one though? Probably not, because he's going to like kids' schools and shit like that.
I mean, there's like all those other season though. There's like also, but when he's what I think nothing can really. I mean, no, this does rival. The closest that comes to it, I think equivalent feeling is when they're going to have the one guy speak against Fisk, you know, and they're like, we got him, and then the guy goes in there to speak against Fisk, and Fisk literally rigs the entire jury to acquit him, and you're like, oh, the whole season's building to that moment. Yeah. You're like, we're gonna get him, and then they completely acquit him, and you're like, oh fuck, this guy's unstoppable. You know what I mean? That gave me a similar feeling to.
I think the difference is now all pretense and all restrictions are off. He's
everyone's on his side.
Yes. Yeah, he's completely free to just be his true bastard of himself.
Yes. It is the fact that most people, not everyone, but most people are on this man's side. Most people are like, yep, he's cool. That's our mayor. I know. I understand. I understand. Yeah. You gotta understand. I have an outside perspective. I'm in a different situation.
So real.
It's like, unfortunately. I think I've also heard people say, like, I've heard a complaint, and I don't want to get too, like, I don't want this to become a political podcast. Like, I really don't want that to be our discussion. Yeah. But I will say, another thing Dan Merle said was, you know, people are like, this is too on the nose. People are saying, like, it's too on the nose, it's too apparent, right? And I do think, you know, what he said was, you should be less concerned that the comic book supervillain scheme is too on the nose to reality than that reality is so close to the comic book supervillain. Like, that's also, what you should be.
This was filmed before the election.
Yes.
It's unintentionally 100% accurate.
Yes.
Yep. It's really scary. It's really it's really terrifying. But that's just the genius of this show. I know it's on the nose, but at the same time, it does it very well.
On accident.
This is one of the things where fiction isn't reflecting reality. Reality is reflecting fiction.
Yeah.
We've come full circle, unfortunately. Yeah. So, yeah, I think this show is incredible. Did it have a little bumpy parts as music gets shot in the tummy and go, ooh, yeah. But
what?
Huh? Yeah.
What are you saying?
It's music. Oh, my tummy. Oh. Do I wish that was Cherry instead? Yes.
Yeah. They'd take off the mask and it's Cherry underneath. It's the white guy in the seat. And then he has the mask on when they cut and they take it off.
It's funny. Thatch, you remember saying that the Diamond, like, Vanessa plot was your least favorite, but that ended up swinging back around and became tied to everything. So that was actually a really good story. Because that whole guy...
the Diamond thing really didn't.
The whole, like, the pain...
Guy.
What is the word? Luca. Like, attacks for going on another guy's territory. I still think that's stupid.
It's stupid, but at least it tied back with that plot and became relevant again.
Yeah.
Unlike
there were better ways you could have had, like, criminal drama.
Yeah, I agree. You could have made it more...
100%. 100%. Yeah. I'm just saying, at least it came back around. Muse exists for like 2 episodes and then dies. So
yes,
you know,
maybe I would love if Heather turned into Lady Muse. Honestly, that'd be awesome. Mm-hmm. I'd be so into that.
Maybe she goes fucking crazy. She goes cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
They make Muse hot. You know, you just got to make everybody hot, and it makes money.
Silver Surfer, Muse,
everybody. Let's make hot Punisher.
Let's make Hot Cherry next.
No,
they tried to make
you can't save that one.
Taskmaster. They tried to do that.
No,
They do what?
They tried making Taskmaster look like a man.
Anyways,
I
good
think
show. How many
Good
Daredevils
show.
out of 10? How many cherry bombs would you give this out of 10?
0. I don't want anyone getting any more charity at all.
No.
Fine.
Please,
Okay.
oh
Fine.
God.
How many candy ass, whatever he says? What does Punisher say?
Candy
Whatever.
ass hero shit.
Yeah. How many?
How many head crushes out of 10?
You can't put that on screen.
No, I can't.
You can't. You can censor it.
I'm just gonna use the image, the Resident Evil image of the zombie with his fucking jaw ripped open.
Sure, use that one. How many zombie head images out of 10 would you give this show?
7.
I'm gonna go 8.
I give it an 8.
All right.
Maybe
Well,
no. I'm gonna go 7.9. That feels right.
That's all right, Ty. You figure that out.
It's
Good luck.
0.1 off. So I'm just gonna say our overall collective rating, it doesn't average out to an 8, but we're gonna call it an 8.
Sure. We'll count it.
All right.
No, it averages
well,
out to a 7.8976.
You got
I
decimals
can't
in
do
this
that
show, man.
with zombies.
With zombies.
Yeah, because he has to put a video effect, so he'd have to put tiny little ones next to it. It would be a shit show.
It's just a bunch of high pitched little.
Yeah, that's good.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week to talk about.
Andor, right?
Mogging and mewing.
Is Andor start? I don't know.
I think Andor and more Last of Us.
Yes, more Last of Us for sure. Ugh, indeed. Ugh.
Ugh.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Fuck you!
Oh God, it wasn't recording the entire time. Where?